Chapter 1, Breakup, Turn Around and Hit on the Schoolgirl in Black Stockings. Longgua. Beijing City, Beijian University. It's the afternoon after school, and the teaching building is bustling with activity. A short-haired guy with a handsome appearance, wearing cheap sportswear, is standing in the corridor. He looks blankly into the air in front of him, his eyes dull. His name is Wu Shuang, and he has just been dumped. He had been dating his girlfriend for half a year, but she broke up with him without any chance of reconciliation. The reason was one word: poverty. Wu Shuang came from a modest family and was never able to satisfy his girlfriend Ma Xiaoyun's material desires. She wanted fruit every day, milk tea 3 times a week, at least one big meal, crazy Thursday, and gifts all the time. A month's expenses came to a conservative 1,000 yuan. How could he possibly afford that? Wu Shuang had only complained a little, and now, well, she had broken up with him. Ah! Standing by the railing in the corridor, looking up at the blue sky, Wu Shuang let out a long cry. This was his first love. Why are girls so materialistic nowadays, and their desires so hard to satisfy? The thought that from now on, he would never be able to hold Ma Xiaoyun's soft little hand again made Wu Shuang's heart ache. Ding! Congratulations, host, the God of Desire system has been activated. God of Desire system, you can view anyone's desire list, and rewards will be given for fulfilling their desires. Note, only one desire can be fulfilled at a time. Wu Shuang was startled by a cold mechanical sound. A casual glance revealed that all the students around him were glowing faintly. This is... Please select a target to view the specific desire list. The system gave another prompt, and this time Wu Shuang understood. His eyes scanned the crowd. Suddenly, a beautiful figure made him tremble. It was the school beauty. Name, Liu Yuxi. Age, 21. Occupation, student. Appearance, 88. Body type, slender. Special skills, dancing. Hobbies, reading, watching movies. Relationship status, single forever. Assets, 0 savings, 2,200 yuan monthly living expenses. Liu Yuxi, the top 3 campus beauty of Beijiang University, is a much-talked-about presence. She has a pure and delicate little face, a high ponytail, a white shirt and pleated skirt, and a JK college style. Her slender legs are wrapped in a thin layer of knee-high black stockings. At the moment, she is walking with gentle steps, weaving through the crowd. Facing countless pairs of burning eyes, Liu Yuxi's mouth curled slightly. She was both pleased and disappointed. Reading Liu Yuxi's desire list for the host. 1. No one dares to talk to me? Can you be a little bolder? I'm actually not that hard to get. 2. I really want that skirt, but it's so expensive, 1,000 yuan. 3. I want to eat hot pot tonight, but it's embarrassing to eat alone. After selecting a target, a series of internal desires and narration sounded in Wu Shuang's head. It was the sweet voice of the school flower herself. Please choose a desire and satisfy her. Hint, people's desires fluctuate with their current mood, and the more intense the desire, the higher it ranks. Shit, does that mean that Liu Yuxi is extremely lacking in love right now? Wu Shuang was shocked. This was the iceberg school beauty. Everyone said she was aloof and unapproachable, but he never imagined that in private she was actually so needy. Thinking about this, Wu Shuang could no longer remain calm. Although he had just broken up with his girlfriend, in the face of such a school beauty full of desire, he couldn't help but act impulsively. So, Wu Shuang took a deep breath. He took a step forward and stopped in front of Liu Yuxi. Stammering, he said, Liu Shui, your stockings are torn. Ah? Liu Yuxi was startled and quickly looked down. Sure enough, there was a hole the size of a fingernail in her stockings at the round part of her thigh. Thank you, classmate. Liu Yuxi quickly put the bag she was holding in front of her. As the school beauty, she was very concerned about her personal image and would not allow any flaws. At this time, Wu Shuang continued, Classmate Liu, do you mind walking together? Ah? No, of course not. Liu Yuxi acted slightly flustered, her heart pounding. Is he hitting on me? No way, someone actually dared to hit on me. He looks okay, a little handsome, just a bit shabbily dressed. Congratulations, you have received a reward, 3 skill points. Skill points. Wu Shuang walked side by side with Liu Yuxi, secretly wondering. What's the use of this? Name, Wu Shuang. Assets, 666 yuan. Attributes: Strength 6, Agility 9, Spirit 7, Constitution 8. Normal values for adult males range from 5 to 10. Skills: Foreign languages level 2, Driving level 1, First aid level 1, Gaming level 3, Flirting level 1, Ancestral craftsmanship level 8. Items: None. Keywords: None. Hint: skill points can enhance any skill mastered by the host. Please choose as soon as possible. Do you need to choose? To chat up the school beauty, of course you choose flirtatious. Wu Shuang didn't hesitate for a second. Successfully used skill points, congratulations host, flirtatious level +3. After adding the points, Wu Shuang asked, Liu, do you want to go back to the dormitory first, or go eat first? Liu Yuxi replied softly, eat. If you don't mind, let's go together. Wu Shuang pretended to be calm and said, I don't know why, but suddenly I want to eat hot pot. But it's no fun eating alone. What do you say, do you want to go together? This. Liu Yuxi was full of surprise inside, he was actually thinking about eating hot pot too. Originally, they didn't know each other, so it would be rude to just ask him out to dinner. But they were soulmates, and Liu Yuxi believed in fate. So he nodded and said, sure, let's go together. Congratulations, you have received a reward, a beep card X1. Beep card, a one-time item. After use, you will receive 10 yuan for every word you say, for a limited time of 5 minutes, and only for meaningful conversations. Holy shit! Wu Shuang was so happy that he burst into tears. Under normal circumstances, an adult male can speak about 200 words per minute at the fastest, so 5 minutes is 1,000 words, 10,000 yuan. Use it now. With excitement in his heart, Wu Shuang decisively enabled the beeping card. Thanks to the increased flirting level, he was not nervous when facing the school beauty queen, and his delivery was much smoother. He talked non-stop the whole way, quickly closing the distance with Liu Yuxi. Time's up. Congratulations, host, you've earned 9,890 renminbi, which will be transferred to your bank card through legal channels. Ding, your debit card account 6969, on May 2nd income, online banking interbank, 9,890 renminbi, the balance after the transaction 10,556 yuan, Longhua Commercial Bank. It almost arrived in seconds. 10,000 yuan, for Wu Shuang, a poor guy, is already an astronomical number. He couldn't help but feel ecstatic, and walked with Liu Yuxi to the hot pot restaurant outside the school, found an empty seat, and began to order. Order whatever you like. Wu Shuang waved his hand, acting like a rich man. Then I won't be polite. With someone being so generous, Liu Yuxi was not holding back either. She threw Wu Shuang a sweet smile and began to bury her head in the menu, checking off items. She ordered double portions of everything, including the fatty beef, lamb rolls, tripe, duck blood, and shrimp paste. Just then, a group of people walked into the hot pot restaurant. It was Wu Shuang's ex-girlfriend, Ma Xiaoyun, who had just broken up with him. She was with a few girls, chatting and laughing. Until she glanced carelessly. She saw that Wu Shuang was sitting opposite Liu Yuxi, the school beauty, making eyes at each other and seeming very intimate. Chapter 2, The Ultimate Warm Guy. Feeling an unfriendly gaze, Wu Shuang quickly looked up and locked eyes with Ma Xiaoyun. Name, Ma Xiaoyun. Age, 21. Occupation, student. Looks, 66. Body type, average. Special skills, none. Hobbies, gossiping, luxury goods. Relationship status, 3 relationships. Assets, 5,000 savings, 1,500 monthly living expenses. Reading, Massachusetts. Xiaoyun's list of desires for the host. 1. Damn, I ran into Wu Shuang again. Can he please just go away? 2. How could the school beauty like Wu Shuang? There must be some reason. I curse him to be single forever. 3. He doesn't even know his own strength, and he's after the school beauty? Humph, I hope he doesn't have any money to pay the bill later. Damn it! They're all evil desires. Wu Shuang didn't want to go away, and even less did he want to be single forever and have no money to pay the bill. In his heart, the last trace of affection for Ma Xiaoyun had vanished. He withdrew his gaze and looked at Liu Yuxi in front of him, and his desires had already been renewed. 1. I want to drink some cold beer, but isn't it bad for girls to drink? 2. I never thought it would be like this. Wu Shuang is handsome, sweet, and rich. I'm really a little surprised. Can I take our relationship a step further tonight? 3. I really want to buy that dress. The difference between people is really big. After learning about Liu Yuxi's desires, Wu Shuang immediately called the waiter. He ordered 2 bottles of craft beer and poured one for Liu Yuxi. This tastes delicious. As the saying goes, once you've tried craft beer, industrial beer is just a so-so. There's a reason for that. Craft beer has a distinct flavor and aroma, and is full-bodied and rich with layers of flavor. Unlike industrial beer, which is bland and tasteless, craft beer is overflowing with the aroma of malt. Liu Yuxi's eyes lit up as she took a sip. She gulped down the entire mug of beer. She had just wanted to quench her thirst with some beer, but she had no idea that the beer Wu Shuang ordered was so delicious. Have some more. Wu Shuang said with a smile, filling Liu Yuxi's glass again. Congratulations, host, you have received a reward, attribute points x2. Add strength. Successfully used attribute points, congratulations, host, strength value +2. In just a moment, Wu Shuang felt her muscles twitch. She secretly felt herself up, and was delighted. Her belly was hard as steel, and the extra pounds were gone without a trace. After adding the attribute points, Wu Shuang looked at Liu Yuxi and was shocked. Goodness, she had drunk the whole bottle. Her delicate and pretty face was flushed, making her even more incredibly beautiful. Liu Yuxi was chosen as the school beauty queen because of her outstanding looks and her tall and stunning figure. Wu Shuang has long coveted her beauty, and usually dares only to secretly look at her from afar. Now that he can admire her up close and uninhibited, he is sure to make many others jealous. Most of the customers in this hot pot restaurant are students from the neighborhood. Among them, there are quite a few who know Liu Yuxi. Seeing the school beauty queen being taken, the boys are full of envy. As for the girls, most of them were jealous, except for Ma Xiaoyun. Seeing her ex-boyfriend Wu Shuang, who had been rejected, happily chatting with the school beauty, Ma Xiaoyun was furious. No, I must ruin his good fortune. A woman's jealousy is terrifying. In order to prove that she had made the right choice, Ma Xiaoyun decided to take action. Quickly walking up behind Liu Yuxi, she wanted to expose Wu Shuang's true self in public, a big loser. Wow! At this, Liu Yuxi suddenly covered her mouth, looking at Wu Shuang in surprise. How did you know I like this dress? Haha, I just searched for it randomly. Wu Shuang showed the screen of his phone. With your looks and figure, you'll look good in anything. Since you like it, I'll place an order for this dress. Liu Yuxi hurriedly said, that's not okay. For no reason, how can I accept such an expensive gift? Who said there's no reason? Wu Shuang suddenly said seriously. Liu, I've actually been watching you for a long time. I approached you today because I want to be friends. Since we're friends, it's only natural to give a little gift, right? What do you think? Friends? Liu Yuxi nodded after a long silence. Since you put it that way, then I'll accept it, thank you. You're welcome, Wu Shuang waved his hand. The order has already been placed, I'll fill in your dormitory address. Yes. Liu Yuxi raised her pretty face and a happy smile appeared. The skirt she had been longing for was actually in her hands. This Wu Shuang is simply the ultimate warm guy. It's as if he can read people's minds, he's considerate, generous, and has a pleasant way of speaking. Congratulations, host, you have received your reward, the entry 8-tank diamond kidney. 8-tank diamond kidney, a real man never hides his strength. I'm here, and I'm conquering. Wu Shuang shook with excitement. This was awesome. Although his ancestral craftsmanship was quite exquisite, his actual combat level was another matter. He had no experience at all. His ex-girlfriend Ma Xiaoyun had never agreed to go this far. Just as he was secretly delighted, Wu Shuang suddenly saw his ex-girlfriend Ma Xiaoyun appear behind Liu Yuxi. And said in a strange voice, school beauty, don't let Wu Shuang fool you, he is a poor guy. Be careful, he might try to get out of paying the bill. Huh? Liu Yuxi turned her head and looked at Ma Xiaoyun. I'm afraid you've got it wrong, classmate, I invited him to this meal. What did you say? Ma Xiaoyun was dumbfounded. The school beauty invited Wu Shuang to dinner? How could that be? What right did he have? He gave me a gift, so I invited him to dinner. Is there a problem? Liu Yuxi asked, her eyes wide with innocence. Ma Xiaoyun was flustered. He gave you a gift? What gift? Who are you? Do you really need to know? Liu Yuxi's eyebrows furrowed slightly, and she looked a little unhappy. You're so funny. Why are you saying all this for no reason? Please don't disturb us while we're eating. You. Ma Xiaoyun was speechless. He had wanted to expose Wu Shuang's true colors, but he never expected the school beauty to stand in his way. With no choice, he could only glare at Wu Shuang menacingly. "Oomph, just you wait." The ugly look on his face made Wu Shuang not want to look at him again. Focusing his gaze on Liu Yuxi's face was a real pleasure. Ding! Liu Yuxi's list of desires has been updated. 1. Just friends? When will he become my boyfriend? I'm looking forward to it. 2. This beer is really good, I want to drink some more. 3. I need some nice shoes to go with this skirt, but those high heels are so expensive. Waiter, a few more bottles of wine. Wu Shuang decisively chose to satisfy Liu Yuxi's second desire and poured her a drink with a smile. Oh no, I can't drink so much, what if I get drunk? Liu Yuxi said with a false heart. It's okay, I'll be there if you get drunk. Wu Shuang patted his strong chest, drink freely, I'll carry you home if the worst comes to the worst. As for where he would carry her, he didn't say. Liu Yuxi was also carefree. After receiving Wu Shuang's promise, she raised her glass and began to drink. Congratulations, you have received a reward, attribute points x2. Use of attribute points successful, congratulations, strength +2. Wu Shuang's strength improved by leaps and bounds, and his muscles expanded by several grades. Liu Yuxi didn't notice this amazing change at all. Because she had already drunk too much. Chapter 3, This is getting serious. Night, street. Wu Shuang, holding the drunk Liu Yuxi, walked briskly. He chose to walk in secluded, less crowded places, and soon arrived at the door of a small hotel. This place was specifically targeted at college students, with low prices, cleanliness, and hygiene, although the soundproofing was not very good. The reason for bringing Liu Yuxi here was not that Wu Shuang had impure thoughts. It's just that if he goes back to school with the school flower in his arms, it'll be too much of a sensation. Long-term poverty has made Wu Shuang's personality a bit introverted, and he doesn't dare to be high profile. Even though he is rich and capable now, he hasn't adapted yet. Get a room. Walking into the hotel, Wu Shuang said to the receptionist. Holy cow, the school flower. Unexpectedly, this young man is also a part-time college student, and he recognized Liu Yuxi at first glance. Reading the receptionist's desire list for the host. 1. Envy. The school beauty is here to have sex. I must stand by the door and listen to her moans. 2. Gee, that skin, it's so soft and delicate. I want to pinch it. 3. My goodness, those black silk legs, they're perfectly shaped. I want to touch them. After learning of the front desk clerk's evil thoughts, Wu Shuang did not take action. He just gave the guy a cold stare, took the room card key, and carried Liu Yuxi upstairs. In the corridor, the sound of gunfire was booming. Wu Shuang had already drunk some wine, and with this background noise, his breathing became heavy. He opened the door and laid Liu Yuxi on the soft bed. Then, he walked lightly to the door of the room. He didn't move, as if waiting for something. After 20 minutes. Boom! Wu Shuang suddenly slammed the door open, dragging the receptionist, who had been eavesdropping at the door, inside. Ah! Liu Yuxi, who had been drunk and asleep, jumped out of bed in shock. Pointing at the receptionist, she said, trembling, he's at the door. Ha, because he was eavesdropping. Wu Shuang tore off his shirt, revealing a body covered in brawny, toned muscles, and glared down at the receptionist. Unfortunately, I didn't hear anything, and I was caught red-handed. Student, spare my life. Looking at Wu Shuang's fist the size of a casserole, the receptionist panicked. Kneeling on the ground, he kept slapping himself in the face. Student, I was wrong, please let me go. Get out, if I find you again, I'll break your legs. After telling the receptionist to get lost, Wu Shuang turned to Liu Yuxi and asked, You're not drunk? I was drunk, Liu Yuxi hurriedly explained, but I woke up again after being scared. Luckily, you were there, otherwise. Otherwise what? Wu Shuang smirked, we didn't do anything, he couldn't hear anything at all. Anyway, he's not a good guy. Liu Yuxi's pretty face turned bright red, there was nothing she could do, the soundproofing was so bad. In the meantime, all kinds of wild sounds were unceasingly heard. How could this be endured by an innocent schoolflower? Originally, Liu Yuxi just wanted to test Wu Shuang. Pretending to be drunk, she wanted to see what the guy would do. Now the results are in, and he's a gentleman. Not only is he a handsome and warm guy, he's also rich, has good character, and is in good shape. Liu Yuxi sat on the bed on her knees, staring straight at Wu Shuang's burly upper body, her eyes glazed over. Ahem. The ambiguous gaze made Wu Shuang pluck up the courage. He coughed, walked quickly to the bed, and gently touched Liu Yuxi's hot face. This kind of action is not something that can be done between ordinary friends. Liu Yuxi did not resist at all, feeling the warmth of Wu Shuang's palm, her body gradually softening. Wait, you don't have a boyfriend, do you? Wu Shuang suddenly asked knowingly. Liu Yuxi's lips parted slightly, no. She was an introverted girl with good grades, and had been regarded as a cold and aloof class flower since she was young. In addition, her requirements were not low, so to this day, she was still single even though she was about to graduate from university. I see. Wu Shuang squeezed Liu Yuxi's hand, so you have a boyfriend now. Congratulations, the host has received a reward, attribute points x3. Add physical fitness. Successfully used attribute points, congratulations, host, physical fitness +3. As soon as the points were added, Wu Shuang felt as if there were thousands of electric currents washing over his body. After a long while, he let out a big breath. It felt so good. Wu Shuang now understood what it meant to feel completely at ease. It was an indescribable feeling, but in short, his body was in a wonderful state, so-called full of energy. What's wrong with you? Liu Yuxi looked at her new boyfriend's strange appearance and asked with concern, are you not feeling well? No, I was thinking, I should get you another gift. Wu Shuang said seriously, I gave you that dress as a normal friend, now as a boyfriend, I'll get you a pair of shoes. Really? Liu Yuxi was ecstatic. I've already placed the order, it'll arrive tomorrow from the Godong self-operated store. Wu Shuang waved the screen of his phone, which displayed Liu Yuxi's dream shoes. It cost 998 yuan, which was quite luxurious for a college student. Congratulations, you have obtained the item, the Breathe card. Breathe card allows you to earn 1 yuan for every breath you take, for 7 days. Holy cow! Wu Shuang let out a yell of joy, and together with Liu Yuxi, they went into a state of ecstasy. The normal number of breaths an adult takes in a day is less than 20,000. 7 days is 140,000. It's awesome. Overwhelmed with excitement, Wu Shuang hugged Liu Yuxi and started celebrating like crazy. Phew! Phew phew phew! Wu Shuang sat at the end of the bed, gasping for breath. It felt so good to use up all that energy. His heart was pounding, his breathing had increased significantly, and money was pouring into his bank account. As for Liu Yuxi's list of desires has been updated. 1. I want him to hold me. 2. I want to take a bath with him. 3. I want to, again. Facing such desires, Wu Shuang decisively struck again. Congratulations to the host on receiving rewards, attribute points x2. Congratulations to the host on receiving rewards, skill points x1. Congratulations to the host on receiving rewards, skill points x4. Time passed quickly and it was already midnight. Liu Yuxi was exhausted and fell asleep. Wu Shuang, with his 8 diamond kidneys, was still full of energy. Add agility. Successfully used attribute points, congratulations host, agility +2. Wu Shuang's idea was to first increase all attributes to 10, becoming a man with no weaknesses. Next were the skill points, and just as he was about to continue improving, flirting. Name, Wu Shuang. Assets, 12,319 yuan. Attributes, Strength 10, Agility 8, Spirit 7, Constitution 9. Skills, Foreign Languages 2, Driving 1, First Aid 1, Gaming 3, Flirting 4, Ancestral Craft 8, Stickwork 1. Items, Suck Card, 6 days and 19 hours remaining. Entry, 8-cylinder diamond kidney. Great technique. Wu Shuang's hardware is now very strong, the only thing lacking is technique. Success with skill points, congratulations host, +5 to great technique. Perfect. This is getting fierce. Chapter 4, it's the opposite. Ah. The next day at noon. Liu Yuxi slowly opened her beautiful eyes, her pale arms didn't even have the strength to lift. Looking out the sunny window, she couldn't help but feel a little dazed. It's only been one night, and the relationship has already developed to this extent. Although Wu Shuang is a near-perfect, supreme warm guy, this progress is just too fast. Hey, what are you thinking with those wide-open eyes? Wu Shuang greedily sniffed the sweet fragrance of Liu Yuxi's hair, thinking to himself that she is truly the school beauty, the best. Even without any makeup, her delicate face is still radiant. Not to mention her delicate, snow-white skin, paired with a slender figure without a single ounce of excess flesh, she is simply a work of art. Ding! Liu Yuxi's list of desires has been updated. 1. I'm hungry, I want to eat. 2. When will the delivery arrive? I want to wear my new shoes right now. 3. I want to do it again. After reading the list, Wu Shuang gave a small smile. Just think about it. Under the power of the 8-cylinder diamond kidney and the level 6 rod technique, not to mention Liu Yuxi, even Wu Shuang himself was amazed. It was almost professional level, and he could go to the island country to develop. Cough, get up, let's go eat together. However, Wu Shuang chose to restrain himself and did not satisfy Liu Yuxi's third desire. The reason for this was that he wanted to whet her appetite. Yes, because this desire is the easiest to satisfy. Therefore, Wu Shuang decided to take things at a steady pace so that Liu Yuxi would be longing for it every day. You can't fill her up too quickly. What are we going to eat? As soon as she heard about eating, Liu Yuxi started drooling. Her mind was full of all kinds of delicious food, as it always is when you're hungry. Hey, of course we have to replenish our energy, let's go have a seafood feast. Wu Shuang's decision made Liu Yuxi extremely happy. You'll have to wait for me then. She ran into the bathroom, covering her chest, and started washing up. A woman's preparations before going out are always lengthy. Wu Shuang waited outside, not in a hurry. Because he had already asked his roommate Wang Meng to deliver Liu Yuxi's delivery, that is, the new shoes. The price was 100 yuan for running expenses, which was not a problem if it was free, the key was to be able to carry a cup. Knock, knock, knock. After just 10 minutes, the door to the room was knocked on urgently. Wu Shuang opened the door and saw Wang Meng, sweating and panting, holding a delivery box under his arm. This guy was Wu Shuang's best friend in college, and they were really close. Xuanzi, what are you doing? You didn't come back to the dorm last night, and Grandma had to stay in a hotel alone. Wang Meng handed over the delivery box and asked, while sticking his head in to take a look at the room. Don't ask what you shouldn't ask. Wu Shuang sent a red envelope to Wang Meng on his phone. Thanks for your hard work, buddy. Wait. At this time, Wang Meng stuck his foot in the door crack and asked suspiciously, Xuanzi, didn't you even have money to eat yesterday? Also, who was in the hotel room with you? It couldn't have been Ma Xiaoyun, right? You guys broke up, didn't you? Wang Meng looked unconvinced. Besides, if she doesn't even let you touch her, why would she go to a hotel room with you? I don't fucking believe you. Just as he was saying this, his expression froze. Because he was in the room and saw the school beauty Liu Yuxi. The beauty is out of the bath. Just see Liu Yuxi flipping her long wet hair, her beautiful body wrapped in a white bath towel, her fragrant shoulders exposed. It's simply seductive enough to make you nosebleed. Holy shit, you're fucking the school beauty in a hotel room. Wang Meng's eyes were about to pop out of his head. If Liu Yuxi had been fully dressed, Wang Meng would have thought that Wu Shuang was discussing studies with the school beauty in a hotel room. But she was wrapped in a towel. At the same time, Liu Yuxi held up her phone with a white lotus-like arm and spoke to Wu Shuang in a voice as pleasant as a silver bell. I can't keep letting you pay for everything. At least let me pay for the room. Ding, WeChat payment of 200 yuan. Holy shit. The school beauty paid for the room, and this is unbelievable. Wang Meng, who was standing in the doorway, was shocked and stunned. Okay, don't look if you shouldn't. After filling the cup, Wu Shuang was content and satisfied, and quickly kicked Wang Meng out with a swift kick. Then he closed the door, held up the delivery box, and said to Liu Yuxi with a smile, what do you think this is? Wow, new shoes. Liu Yuxi jumped up happily. By the way, who was that person at the door just now? The errand boy. Wu Shuang waved his hand. Never mind him, just try on the new shoes. Congratulations, the host has received a reward, skill points x1. Successfully used skill points, congratulations, host, +1 to your stick technique. After further improving her skills, Wu Shuang sat by the bed and meticulously watched the beauty change her shoes. The green patent leather high heels were 10 centimeters high and looked quite textured. Liu Yuxi was so excited to get the treasure she had been longing for. She quickly dried her body and put on the underwear that had been washed and dried last night. Then came the white shirt plus pleated skirt and the thin knee-length black silk. She slipped her delicate feet into the high heels, which fit perfectly. As soon as she stood up, her already outrageously long legs looked even more exaggerated with the help of the high heels, giving her the appearance of an anime female character. She was almost as tall as Wu Shuang. What do you think? Do I look good? Liu Yuxi asked contentedly. Amazing. Black silk and high heels. YYDs. Wu Shuang nodded repeatedly. Let's go. I called a car. Let's go eat. Liu Yuxi was surprised. Where are we going to eat, and why did you call a car? Of course it's a good place. So Wu Shuang was holding Liu Yuxi's arm, walking out of the hotel door side by side. An online car hailing car was already waiting on the roadside. The two got in and sat down. After more than 20 minutes, they arrived in front of a building in the city center. The Kaijing building is 56 floors high and a landmark in the city. On the top floor of the building is an upscale seafood restaurant. The high-speed elevator soars up, and as soon as the door opens, the smiling face of a waiter appears. Welcome to Dragon King Seafood, please come in. Sitting at the table by the floor-to-ceiling windows, Liu Yuxi feels like she's in a dream. This is such a high-class restaurant, and the people eating here are either rich or powerful. How can a poor student afford to eat here? Wu Shuang is also very excited, but doesn't show it. Money is the courage of men. After a night of hard work, he now had more than 20,000 yuan in his hands. He had to enjoy himself. What's on the menu? Deep-sea caviar, French-style baked lobster with cheese, sliced abalone and oysters in a jade green sauce, chicken in 8 flavors, and Peruvian seafood soup. Wu Shuang ordered all the dishes on the menu, which were all nourishing dishes. Afterwards, he looked at Liu Yuxi and said, "What do you think? Should they all be to your liking?" I'm fine with everything. Liu Yuxi replied, beaming with happiness. If you like the food, we'll come here for dinner more often. Wu Shuang said heroically. Congratulations, you have received a reward, a move card. Move card, every step you take will earn you 10 renminbi for 6 hours. Chapter 5, Special Forces Shopping Mode. The number of steps an adult male can take in an hour is about 2,000. 6 hours is 120,000 steps. After checking the information online, Wu Shuang buried his head and began to wolf down his food. He ate until his stomach was round and full, and he burped contentedly. He looked at Liu Yuxi, who was chewing slowly and thoughtfully, with a smile, and his desire had been renewed. 1. After dinner, I really want to go shopping. I wonder if Wu Shuang wants to go with me. 2. At night. I also want to go to a hotel. 3. I really want to. Damn it, why have I become so strange? Waiter, the bill. Wu Shuang remained calm and collected, and after Liu Yuxi had also finished eating, called the waiter. After paying the bill, which came to a whopping 1,588 yuan, they hurriedly took the elevator down. Standing by the roadside, he looked out at the bustling street not far away. Taking a deep breath, he said, "Are you ready to start shopping?" "Ha? You want to go shopping with me?" Liu Yuxi beamed. "Wait, why do you look so serious? If you don't want to go shopping, let's go." After using his Dongdong card, Wu Shuang took Liu Yuxi's hand and started walking quickly. Without stopping at all, they barged directly into the most luxurious shopping mall in the city. Online shopping is popular these days, and physical stores are empty, so the mall is deserted. The black-haired saleswoman at the entrance is yawning when suddenly a gust of wind blows past her. She is startled, but Wu Shuang suddenly stops and turns to her, saying, "Hello, please come over and help, hurry." "Ha?" The saleswoman rushes over, but Wu Shuang doesn't even look back, just keeps walking briskly. Congratulations, you have received a reward, 2 attribute points. Use of attribute points successful, congratulations, Constitution +2. Wu Shuang dragged Liu Yuxi straight to the jewelry section and asked, "Do you like anything? You're buying me jewelry?" Women love shiny things, and Liu Yuxi was no exception. Soon, a dazzling sapphire necklace caught her eye. At the same time, a brand new desire rose to the top of the list. Wow, this necklace is so beautiful. I love it. If you like it, take it. What are you hesitating about? Wu Shuang, who kept walking back and forth, ordered the salesperson, "Wrap it up and we'll pay for it together." You're really buying it for me? Liu Yuxi was ecstatic, but I haven't even tried it on yet. What's the point of trying it on? If you don't like it, we'll buy another one. Wu Shuang laughed, a necklace is only a few thousand yuan. Compared to the reward, it's nothing. Congratulations, you have received a reward, attribute points x1. Use of attribute points successful, congratulations, mental attribute +1. With his mental attribute increased, Wu Shuang felt as if a flood of light had entered his mind. The tiredness from eating had disappeared, and he felt refreshed. Let's go, keep shopping. Ding, plus 10 yuan. Ding, plus 10 yuan. Ding. Wu Shuang pulls Liu Yuxi deeper into the mall. Looking at the dazzling array of goods, Liu Yuxi's desires keep bubbling up. Wow, this bag is really nice, but it's a bit too expensive. Bag it. Big-name skincare products are really different, even the sales clerk's skin is as smooth as a baby's. A whole set, bag it. What's it like to wear high-end stockings? I want to try them. What's there to try? If the foreigners next door see it, they'll think we can't afford it. We'll take all the styles, one of each. No, a dozen of each. I heard that high-end cosmetics don't irritate the skin. This lingerie set is so sexy, Wu Shuang will love it when she puts it on. Wow, this stuffed animal is so cute. This brand of sportswear is so trendy. Just wrap up whatever she likes. Wu Shuang instructed the salesperson. Okay. The young and beautiful salesperson nodded repeatedly, her slender body laden with various spoils. Wu Shuang's eyes were moist with emotion. This was the ultimate rich guy. These days, there are already few men who are willing to accompany their girlfriends shopping. Even fewer men follow them around the whole time, not playing with their phones and helping with reference. The most crucial thing is that he generously paid the bill. Humph. Liu Yuxi quickly noticed something amiss with the salesperson. She quickly took hold of Wu Shuang's arm, held her head high, and took brisk steps. Brother Shuang, I'm a little hungry. No way, let's keep walking, we still have things to buy. More shopping? Yes, yes. For a full 6 hours, Wu Shuang was in full special forces shopping mode, and they managed to walk out with 130,000 yuan in purchases. Of course, the gains were not just financial. Name, Wu Shuang. Assets, 151,274 yuan. Attributes, Strength 14, Agility 12, Spirit 11, Constitution 11. Skills, Foreign Languages Level 2, Driving Level 1, First Aid Level 1, Gaming Level 3, Flirting Level 4, Ancestral Craftsmanship Level 8, Staff Fighting Level 10. Items, none. Entry, 8-cylinder diamond kidney. Desires were being fulfilled one after the other, and the points were being added up to the sky. All of his physical attributes have been raised above the average. In particular, his strength has reached 14, causing his muscles to swell and his clothes to become tight. Wow, they've gotten even thicker. Liu Yuxi strokes Wu Shuang's huge biceps and can't help but wonder, Brother Shuang, they didn't seem to be this thick before. Hey, this kind of thing depends on your state. Wu Shuang lowered his head and leaned over Liu Yuxi's rosy face. I'm hungry. Naughty, why are you saying this in public? Liu Yuxi blushed instantly. Wait until tonight, Where are you thinking? I'm really hungry. Wu Shuang put away his playful smile and said, let's go eat. The top floor of the shopping mall has a variety of high-end restaurants. Wu Shuang had been here once when he attended a classmate's birthday during his freshman year. At that time, he secretly vowed that after he started working, he would work hard to earn money and become a regular here. And now, his wish has been fulfilled early. Sitting at the table decorated with candlelight and flowers, he gazed at the exquisite face of his girlfriend, the school beauty queen. The satisfaction in his heart was overwhelming. Waiter, I'll have these dishes and a bottle of red wine. Brother Shuang, you're really spending a lot today. Liu Yuxi couldn't help but gasp when she saw the price of the red wine, which was a whopping 988 yuan. Including this meal, this afternoon's shopping spree has cost Wu Shuang tens of thousands of dollars. Money isn't important, what's important is that you're happy. Wu Shuang's answer made Liu Yuxi feel so good. Although she was a little tired today, her material desires had been greatly satisfied. Her pretty face was as radiant as a flower. After the dishes were served, she bent over and fed Wu Shuang a mouthful of food with her own hands. Of course, that wasn't enough. After a few glasses of red wine, Liu Yuxi could no longer hold back her thoughts. Ding! Liu Yuxi's list of desires has been updated. 1. I want to die. 2. Tonight. I won't go back to school, will I? 3. Why don't I just rent a room somewhere else? Chapter 6, A Goddess of Learning? A Fallen Woman. Morning. A high-end hotel near the university. Wu Shuang woke up from the big round bed and gently pushed away Liu Yuxi's white and tender lotus arm. He walked to the bathroom and looked at himself in the mirror. His strong and developed muscles were like works of art carved out of stone. No man doesn't like to have muscles all over his body, but it's really hard to work them out. Wu Shuang was different. In just a little over a day, his white-cut chicken body had directly transformed. Ha! At this time, Liu Yuxi, with her hair disheveled, appeared lazily behind Wu Shuang. In just a little over a day, she too had completed her transformation from green apple to red apple. She was ripe. The originally simple and pretty face had gained some charming and seductive charm. The watery beautiful eyes retained the charm from last night, her cheeks were glowing with a glossy luster, and her red lips looked even more delicate and tempting. The high-end lace underwear on her fair and flawless body is both elegant and sexy. "Brother Xuan, you're up so early?" Liu Yuxi asked in a sweet voice as she hurriedly rushed into the bathroom. Ding! Liu Yuxi's list of desires has been updated. 1. I'm hungry, I want to eat a grilled sausage and fried eggs. 2. His muscles are so manly, I want to. 3. I've decided, I must rent a place outside, I'll talk to him later. As a young person, you must get up early and exercise. Wu Shuang gave a slight smile and bent over the floor to do push-ups. The powerful muscles moved rhythmically, and the strong masculine charm made Liu Yuxi suddenly lose all sleepiness. I want to exercise too. I think we should eat breakfast first. Wu Shuang walked over to the bedside table, picked up the phone, and asked the hotel reception to deliver breakfast. He was really hungry. Having a great body comes with a great cost. Soon the waiter pushed a cart into the room, with a dazzling array of dishes that made his mouth water. Wu Shuang buried his head in his food and devoured a large bowl of beef noodles, a basket of fried buns, and 4 hard-boiled eggs. Congratulations, you have received a reward, 2 skill points. You have successfully used your skill points. Congratulations, you have +2 flirtatiousness. Liu Yuxi, on the other hand, slowly nibbled on the German-style crispy roast sausage, her eyes and brows full of watery waves, never taking her eyes off Wu Shuang. This was a sign of affection. In just 2 days, she had completely fallen in love with Wu Shuang and was completely unable to extricate herself. You could say that the more beautiful a woman is, the easier she is to woo. The reason is simple: beautiful women don't have so many petty thoughts. If they are qualified, being nice to them is enough. Beautiful women have high standards, but their demands are all obvious. Unlike some ugly women, ugly people are more devious. All kinds of pretentiousness and tormenting men actually come from their inner inferiority. Liu Yuxi is different. She is very confident in her appearance and figure. Eating a grilled sausage and drinking milk, the milky liquid inadvertently dripped from the corners of her upturned mouth. It dripped onto her chest and formed a trickle. Oops, what a waste! Liu Yuxi exclaimed, winking at Wu Shuang. Damn, she was born to be charming. At such a young age, she had taught herself how to charm everyone. In this situation, how could Wu Shuang hold back? SSSHH. Congratulations, you have received a reward, skill points x1. Successfully used skill points, congratulations to the host, flirting +1. At this point, Wu Shuang's flirting and stick skills have both reached level 10, the maximum level. Time has also come to noon. Let's go. Wu Shuang gently patted Liu Yuxi's red little face. We can't skip class, we have to go back to school. Just be your nerdy goddess persona, look at the way you look now, you're practically a depraved woman who indulges in sex and sound. Oh yeah, when you go back, remember to check if there's a suitable house nearby, let's rent one and live outside. Really? That's great. Liu Yuxi was about to argue back that she wasn't a depraved woman. But she was pleasantly surprised by the idea of renting a house, and hugged Wu Shuang in a reward for his love. After living out for 2 nights, Liu Yuxi had come to the profound realization that she could never go back to the past. Go back to the dormitory and live with the girls? No, it's too hard. Without Wu Shuang by my side, I simply cannot sleep. Don't ask me about the budget, as long as you are satisfied. Wu Shuang added, pulling Liu Yuxi up and forcing her to get dressed. After tidying up, they checked out of the hotel. It was summer, and the weather was hot. The university campus was deserted. Wu Shuang and Liu Yuxi held hands as they walked all the way to the dormitory area, before reluctantly parting. Xuanzi is back. In the smelly boys' dormitory, Wang Meng was slumped in a chair watching a live stream. As soon as he saw his best friend finally return, he hurriedly took off his headphones. Xuanzi, you weren't with the school beauty the whole time, were you? What else? By the way, you didn't tell anyone about this, did you? No, absolutely not. Wang Mang waved his hands repeatedly. Xuanzi, what kind of person am I? My mouth is tight. Even better than the school beauty. Damn it, Mengzi. Wu Xuan gave Wang Meng a little tap. Don't make fun of your sister-in-law. Yes, yes, yes. Wang Meng's expression was still a little puzzled. Although on that day, he had witnessed Liu Yuxi after she had finished taking a shower. But in Wang Meng's heart, he still didn't quite believe that such an outstanding school beauty could be taken by the poor Wu Shuang. It wasn't that he looked down on Wu Shuang, but it was a real mismatch. After all, the school beauty, the person she matched with, would either be rich or have something going for them. Just as he was wondering, Wang Meng inadvertently saw Wu Shuang's sweat-soaked t-shirt, outlining the terrifying contours of his muscles. Damn, Xuangzi, your body is unbelievable. Wang Meng lost his voice, stroked Wu Shuang's muscles, and was full of disbelief. It's so well endowed, so full of masculine charm. Wu Shuang laughed aloud. There are so many things that are not scientific. Could you have imagined that I would get the school beauty? Oh, you brute. Upon learning that his goddess had fallen, Wang Meng let out a long howl. 2 days, and with your current physique, the school flower must have been terribly tormented. I told you, don't make fun of your sister-in-law. Wu Shuang was about to strike again when suddenly, a call with an unpleasant tone sounded from downstairs. Wu, come down here. Wu Shuang saw his ex-girlfriend, Ma Xiaoyun, standing downstairs in front of the dormitory with a group of rough-looking girls, furious. What? Reluctantly, Wu Shuang chose to go downstairs. Standing in front of the woman he once loved most, he asked coldly, I thought we weren't going to meet anymore. What, you're not keeping your word? Wu, I heard you're spreading rumors that you dumped me? Ma Xiaoyun put her hands on her hips, her hatred making her face unrecognizable and ugly. No. Wu Shuang replied innocently. At the same time, he was convinced in his heart that it must have been Wang Meng who did it. As good friends, Wang Meng had been persuading Wu Shuang to break up before. After being dumped, this guy was even more angry than Wu Shuang, cursing Ma Xiaoyun all sorts of names for being a scumbag. Humph, no. Ma Xiaoyun stepped forward, pointed at Wu Shuang's nose and scolded, apart from you, who else has nothing better to do than spread rumors after eating too much? Ha! Damn it, will you stop? Wu Shuang, who had always acted cowardly in the past, seemed like a different person at the moment. With a gloomy face, he retorted, even if I spread the rumors, so what? Is it illegal? Is it against the rules? You just want to save face, right? Yes, you dumped me first. I admit it now, okay. Please don't harass me anymore from now on. Never meet again. You. Ma Xiaoyun was so angry by these words that she almost fell to the ground. Chapter 7, The Whole School is Watching. In Ma Xiaoyun's eyes, Wu Shuang had always been a cheap lapdog. Apart from his appearance, he was honest and obedient, but in every other way, he was useless. Therefore, after breaking up, Ma Xiaoyun did not feel any remorse, but rather some regret. It was too late to break up. Seeing that graduation was not far off, she should take advantage of her prime and find a rich boyfriend. She could then keep her rich boyfriend firmly in check, and she wouldn't have to suffer when she entered society. Now that she hasn't got a rich boyfriend, the cheap dog liquor has actually started to show her teeth. How can this be allowed? Facing Wu Shuang's tall and imposing figure, Ma Xiaoyun was not at all intimidated. The psychological advantage she had established over a long period of time made her overflowing with energy. Raising her voice, she shouted, Me harass you? Wu, you get this straight, who was it that pursued me desperately in the first place? And who was it that cried and screamed after the breakup, sending me all kinds of messages begging for a reunion? Now you're saying I'm harassing you? Ha, you wish. Even if I were to marry a pig, I wouldn't give you the time of day. Ma Xiaoyun's shrill voice directly pierced the silence of the lunch break. The whole dormitory area was in an uproar, and the boys and girls ran out into the hallway. They stared and listened, seriously beginning to eat melons. What's more, quite a few people brought melon seeds, peanuts, mineral water, and went downstairs to watch the spectacle up close. Oh, you want to marry a pig, it's none of my business. As the saying goes, a good man doesn't fight with a woman, and Wu Shuang didn't want to become the laughingstock of others. He left, leaving behind a sentence and turning his head. But Ma Xiaoyun didn't want to let go, and grabbed Wu Shuang's arm tightly. She said in a shrill voice, Explain yourself clearly, and don't leave until you have. Let go. Wu Shuang growled, his body tensing. But he didn't make a move. After all, he couldn't hit a woman in public. Humph, while there are so many people here, you, surname Wu, apologize to me in public. Ma Xiaoyun urged. Wu Shuang frowned. Apologize for what? You yelled at me just now. Ma Xiaoyun gnashed her teeth. You've never dared to yell at me before. And, publicly admit that I dumped you, otherwise don't even think about leaving. That's a problem. Someone in the crowd let out a sigh. Yeah, how can a man deal with a shrew? Women really are trouble. Luckily I've always been single. You? You're obviously forced to be single. But that woman is really disgusting. The boys generally felt sympathy for Wu Shuang, but no one dared to lend a hand. It was different with the girls, most of whom supported Ma Xiaoyun. Dare to do but not to take responsibility, you man down there. Exactly, look at the way he looks, he's going to do it. He dares. As long as he dares, we'll tear him apart. Just then, a loud voice rang out. Get out of the way. Wang Mang was seen, sweating profusely, violently separating the crowd. Standing in the spotlight, he turned around and assumed a respectful posture. Sister-in-law, this way. Thank you for your hard work. A bell-like voice came from the crowd, and everyone looked and saw it was the school flower. Liu Yuxi had her hair tied in a ponytail, and her already delicate face had been carefully made up, making her look even more angelic. She was wearing a high-quality white silk dress, and beneath her long, bare legs were 7-centimeter patent leather high heels. She walked slowly over to Wu Shuang. She raised her beautiful eyes and glanced at Ma Xiaoyun, whose face was twisted in anger. She opened her red lips and asked, Is it you who is harassing my boyfriend? When she said this, the whole audience was in an uproar. Boyfriend? No way, they're actually together? Oh my god, this can't be true. The girls were dumbfounded. They had never expected such a big surprise. Liu Yuxi, the school beauty queen, who had always been aloof and arrogant, had actually found a boyfriend who was unknown to everyone. So thousands of pairs of eyes focused on Wu Shuang. They examined and analyzed her, trying to find out all the information they could about her. Of course, there was also a lot of disbelief. What, my goddess is gone? No way, what does Wu Shuang have to do with it? Damn, I never thought that Wu Shuang, who looks honest with his bushy eyebrows and big eyes, is actually such a good kisser in private, and he even got the school beauty. The boys' eyes were about to burst with anger, and many of them, who had long been secretly in love with Liu Yuxi, were beating their chests. Just then, Liu Yuxi extended her slender, white hand, like a spring onion stem, and placed it on Wu Shuang's shoulder. She asked with concern, Brother Shuang, are you okay? Don't bother with that shrew, it's not worth it. I know, you guys had something, but it's all in the past. Now I'm your girlfriend, and I'll never allow anyone to offend you. Holy cow! This time, both the girls and the boys were collectively stunned. The school flower actually didn't care about Wu Shuang's past at all. Not only that, she even stood up for Wu Shuang. No matter how you look at it, it's not like the relationship between a goddess and a dog licker that everyone thinks it is. This student. Liu Yuxi turned her head and looked at Ma Xiaoyun again. Switching to a gentle tone, she said, Wu Shuang didn't mean to yell at you. It's normal for a man to have a short temper. He yells at me occasionally too. Wu Shuang actually dared to yell at the school flower? And the school flower didn't mind? Ma Xiaoyun opened her mouth wide, and she was stunned. For a girl like her, a girl who is not confident, a man must be controlled. No matter what, a man must always appease a woman. As for the question of who dumped whom, Liu Yuxi lowered her head and giggled, You're really childish. Is this really important? In my opinion, even if Wu Shuang was dumped, it's just that you're blind. To be honest, I've always had a crush on Wu Shuang, and I've finally waited for my chance. Thank you. As she spoke, Liu Yuxi wrapped her arm around Wu Shuang's, as if she was afraid he would be snatched away. Brother Shuang, ignore her. In the future, if there's anything, let her take it out on me. As soon as these words were spoken, the crowd around them exploded. The school flower has always had a crush on Wu Shuang? Damn it! Holy shit! The boys found it hard to accept the truth, but it was Liu Yuxi herself who had said it, so it couldn't be false. Not a dog licker? Is it the other way round? No, look at her outfit. An observant girl had noticed something, and pointed at Liu Yuxi with a discerning eye. That's an O-brand dress, not a fake. It was originally priced at over 3,000 yuan. That Coach bag must have cost 7,000 to 8,000 yuan. I know those heels. She's been eyeing them for a long time, but she never had the money to buy them. Liu Yuxi's roommate appeared and whispered, her monthly living expenses are only a little over 2,000 yuan, and it's usually not enough. But just now, she carried a bunch of new clothes, shoes, and bags back to the dormitory. By the way, she hasn't returned home at night for 2 nights already. Could it be? When she said this, all the girls understood at the same time. Their gazes all turned to Wu Shuang. It's Brother Fu. Unexpectedly, Wu Shuang, who had always been unremarkable, was actually Brother Fu. Although he was dressed plainly, this only aroused the girls' curiosity even more. Low-key Brother Fu. He's rich and willing to spend on his girlfriend. He's so handsome. He's got a great body too. Why didn't I notice him before? The power of money made Wu Shuang's already good looks shine. His toned body, exposed by the sweat, made many girls gasp and blush. This. Facing this sudden change in the situation, Ma Xiaoyan felt like she had suddenly become a clown. Her mind went blank and she sat down on the ground. Chapter 8, Merging Man and Machine. The school beauty queen has fallen. In less than half a day, the whole school learned about Liu Yuxi and Wu Shuang's relationship. As for the instigator Ma Xiaoyun, who cares about her? She was just going to eat a breakup melon, but she didn't expect to eat a sweet melon. The cold and aloof school beauty queen finally has a master, and this topic instantly hit the school's hot search list. The focus of discussion is nothing more than 2 things. 1. How far have the two gotten, and is it true that they have already moved into a room together? This is what the boys are generally concerned about. 2. What is Wu Shuang's background and wealth? This is what the girls are generally concerned about. The answers are yet to be revealed. After school, Wu Shuang and Liu Yuxi met in front of the teaching building. They held hands and walked together to the school gate. Brother Shuang, I've already done the research. Liu Yuxi leaned against Wu Shuang's shoulder like a little bird. She cooed, there's a small apartment complex nearby, the rent isn't expensive, the appliances are all there, and you can just move in with your suitcase for 2,000 a month. That's great, as long as you're happy. Wu Shuang nodded, since it's a turnkey apartment, let's go take a look now, and if it's suitable, we can just sign the lease right away, otherwise we'll have to find a hotel later. Liu Yuxi blushed and said, stop it, we're still at school, what are you talking about finding a hotel? Wu Shuang grinned wickedly and said, hey, let's go back then. No way. Liu Yuxi was impatient. We've already come out, and besides, I've got everything I need. Wu Shuang looked at her and noticed that her bag was bulging. It seemed that she had packed all her clothes, toiletries, and skincare products. It was obvious that this girl hadn't paid any attention in class that afternoon, and was only thinking about the evening's activities. Let's go look at some apartments. Once a woman has someone to rely on, she'll want a little family. A home is used to keep a man in check. There were many girls on the university campus, and many of them were outstandingly beautiful. With his current situation, Wu Shuang was like the monk Xuanzang visiting the kingdom of women, which made Liu Yuxi very worried. Therefore, they had to rent a house outside. After contacting an agent, she took Wu Shuang and went to look at houses non-stop. The house was a bit old, but it was still clean and well maintained. It had all the appliances and was ready to move in, not much different from what was shown in the video. Liu Yuxi was very satisfied with it, and Wu Shuang didn't say a word. He paid the deposit and 1 month's rent. Congratulations, host, you have won a reward, a luxury car bonus, 900,000 yuan. Note, this bonus can only be used to buy a luxury car. So cool. Wu Shuang was so happy that he was bursting with joy. No man doesn't like cars, and he was no exception. Although he was poor, he knew all about the various models on the market. His favorite was the Mercedes-Benz. It's over 900,000 yuan, right? Open the app and search by price. He was so engrossed in looking at it that he didn't notice the smell of food wafting into his nostrils until it was too late. Brother Shuang, dinner's ready. Wu Shuang then noticed that Liu Yuxi had already finished cleaning and had bought groceries and prepared a delicious meal. Try it, and tell me what you think of my cooking. Liu Yuxi said with anticipation as she sat down at the table. Wu Shuang took a bite and chewed a few times. His eyes lit up, don't tell me, it tastes pretty good. Of course it does, my family owns a restaurant. Liu Yuxi said proudly, that's why I know that the food outside isn't clean or hygienic. From now on, we'll eat in the cafeteria at lunch and eat at home in the evening. Great. Savoring the delicious dishes and looking at the school beauty in front of him, Wu Shuang couldn't help but feel a little emotional. Compared to Ma Xiaoyun, she was simply much better. Ding! Liu Yuxi's wish list has been updated. 1. Not only must I control his stomach, but also his kidneys. Later I will. 2. I don't have any classes tomorrow morning, so I'll get up early to make a hearty breakfast and then serve it to him with a wake-up call. 3. Where can I find resources for that kind of thing? I want to learn some new tricks. Boy, they all have the same desires. Wu Shuang couldn't help but glance at the walls, which were a bit patchy. He wondered how the soundproofing was in this old house. The next day, Wu Shuang woke up slowly to the gentle wake-up call and had a hearty breakfast. After spending some time with Liu Yuxi, he went out to hail a taxi and headed straight for a Mercedes-Benz 4S store in the city. Skipping the entry-level models, he stood in front of a radiant sedan. The Mercedes-Benz AMG E53, with its fastback shape, is dynamic and beautiful, full of muscle and with an aggressive look that is unforgettable. Wow, it's so cool. Liu Yuxi knows nothing about cars, but she knows that luxury cars are mostly cool. Wu Shuang asked, is this the only car available? Yes, this car was just delivered. The saleswoman in black silk replied, someone had originally placed an order for it, but then cancelled. Are you interested? Interested? Wu Shuang understood that it was rare to find a Mercedes-Benz imported luxury car in stock. A strong impulse made him hesitate for no moment. Of course I'm interested, I'll buy it directly. Buy it? The black silk-clad saleswoman was taken aback. This guy buys a car like that. Even a local tyrant customer would touch it, take a look, and experience it. Well, I'll buy it. Wu Shuang walked past the saleswoman, arranged the paperwork as soon as possible, I'm in a hurry. Okay, please wait a moment. The saleswoman was ecstatic that she could close the deal so early in the morning. She called her colleague to help, and served Wu Shuang attentively, pouring tea and offering water. The car cost a total of 940,000 yuan, which meant that after using up the 900,000 yuan in luxury car subsidies, Wu Shuang had paid an additional 40,000 yuan out of his own pocket. In a hurry? What are you going to do later, Brother Shuang? Liu Yuxi asked in puzzlement. Wu Shuang patted her on the head, silly, you forgot, I have a class this afternoon. A student? The female salesperson beside her was shocked. So he is a rich kid. He was dressed in plain clothes, so you couldn't tell from the outside, but his girlfriend is really pretty, and I'm afraid he couldn't get her without money. Since the payment was made in full, the car purchase procedures were quickly completed. Wu Shuang then excitedly got into the driver's seat, gripped the steering wheel, and slowly drove to the nearby gas station. After filling up the tank, he no longer restrained his right foot. He slammed the accelerator, and boom. Name, Wu Shuang. Assets, 146,344 yuan. Attributes, Strength 17, Dexterity 12, Spirit 12, Constitution 12. Skills, Foreign Languages Level 2, Driving Level 5, First Aid Level 1, Gaming Level 3, Flirting Level 10, Ancestral Craftsmanship Level 8, Staff Skills Level 10. Items, none. Term, 8-cylinder diamond kidney. After receiving the luxury car orientation bonus last night, Wu Shuang added all of his skill points to driving. The effect was obvious, directly instilled in muscle memory. As soon as he gripped the steering wheel, all of his organs entered a state of combat readiness, and his mind was highly concentrated. His previously extremely rusty driving skills directly evolved into a unity of man and machine. Whoa! AMG E53 roared with Liu Yuxi's scream. Accelerating and decelerating along the road, it made a beautiful U-turn and parked in the parking space in front of the school. It was just before the afternoon class started, and many students were hurrying back to school after eating lunch outside. Seeing a brand new luxury car rushing over, everyone stopped and watched. Wow, whose new car is that? It's Wu Shuang, he's rich. The crowd let out a gasp of surprise as they watched Wu Shuang push open the car door with panache. There was only one exception. It was Ma Xiaoyun. Chapter 9. After breaking up, he took the school beauty queen, and his ex-girlfriend regretted it. Wu Shuang is really rich, this car originally cost 1 million yuan. 1 million yuan? My monthly salary after graduation is only 4,000 yuan, I'd have to work for 20 years without eating or drinking to afford it. Stop it, can I just dream about it? Exactly, it's okay to look at it if you can't afford it. In the face of such a huge gap, pride no longer matters. The boys all revealed lustful looks, surrounded the Mercedes-Benz AMG E53, and greedily touched, smelled, and sniffed it. The new car had not yet been wrapped in film, and looking at the high-grade leather and luxurious fabrics inside, the boys' mouths watered as they saw the exquisite workmanship that made the interior look extremely luxurious. Oomph, good for nothing. Ma Xiaoyun was furious. Just because he has a bit of money, I still dumped him. Her roommate asked, Xiaoyun, don't you know that Wu Shuang is rich? Of course I know. Ma Xiaoyun stammered, what's the use of just having money? He's got no character. Her roommate asked again, but didn't you say that Wu Shuang was honest? You were dumped because he didn't buy you things. Anyway, I don't like him. Ma Xiaoyun said with gritted teeth. Despite her stubbornness, she regretted it deeply. You're good, Wu Shuang, you're good at pretending. Rich people are all perverts, they can show off their wealth, but they have to pretend to be poor. Thinking about this, Ma Xiaoyun wanted to slap herself. If she had known, she would have offered herself up. Xiaoyun, what are you daydreaming about? Let's go, class is about to start. Oh. Ma Xiaoyun followed her roommate into the classroom and found that it was in the middle of a heated discussion. Do you know that the school beauty and Wu Shuang are not in a hotel room, but renting a house? They are living together. Really? They just started dating, so how did it develop so quickly? According to a little-known source, it was the school beauty who took the initiative. No way. Don't believe it, but the source is very reliable, from Wu Shuang's roommate. Also, someone has already witnessed the school beauty buying food alone at the market. I heard that too. Ma Xiaoyun heard all these conversations. She felt like she had just eaten shit. While some people were sad, others were happy. Wu Shuang was now living the life of a happy immortal. In front of Fu, he was embracing the school beauty and had become the focus of attention on campus. Every day, he would drive Liu Yuxi to school in his beloved car. He struts to class, with his classmates looking up at him. After school, he returns to his rented room and enjoys the attentive service of Liu Yuxi. A day is full of rewards when he easily satisfies her desires. Name, Wu Shuang. Assets, 226,344 yuan. Attributes, Strength 21, Agility 15, Spirit 13, Constitution 14. Skills, Foreign Language Level 2, Driving Level 8, First Aid Level 1, Gaming Level 3, Flirting Level 10, Ancestral Craftsmanship Level 8, Martial Arts Level 10. Items, none. Entry, 8-cylinder diamond kidney. After a week, Wu Shuang's attributes collectively increased. The focus of the improvement was strength, because he likes to work miracles with great strength. Although the system has a prompt, no matter how high the strength value rises, it will not turn into a muscle monster. But now, Wu Shuang still has an exaggerated figure. His well-defined muscles are exposed, exuding a chilling aura of power. Brother Shuang. In the living room, Liu Yuxi hooked her arm around Wu Shuang's thick arm, her eyes flirtatiously gleaming, and she kept cooing. Aren't you going out? Why haven't you left yet? I want to stay a little longer. No way, I don't have time, I have class this afternoon. Facing Liu Yuxi, whose eyes are full of spring, Wu Shuang puts on a cold face. She is too clingy, there's no way around it. Since the two have been living together, they are inseparable. Liu Yuxi has completely fallen, and every day, except for class, she is glued to Wu Shuang. It's a good thing her best friend has asked her out shopping today, but before they leave, she doesn't want to go. Okay, I know, don't be mad. Liu Yuxi is now most afraid of Wu Shuang getting angry. Hurry up and stop being a baby, pick up your bag, stand up, step out the door in your delicate high heels, reluctant to go. Who? Wu Shuang let out a big breath, finally free. The school flower is indeed very fragrant, but people, after all, need a little personal space. He already has a plan: go to school, finish class, call Wang Meng and the guys to play some basketball. In the evening, they would have a big meal together and enjoy the happiness between men. Rumble rumble. Wu Shuang arrived at the school gate in his car. Humming a tune, he walked alone and was suddenly blocked by a figure. Wu Shuang. His ex-girlfriend Ma Xiaoyun appeared with puffy eyes and a haggard expression. What do you want? Wu Shuang took a step back and asked defensively. Don't be like that, I'm not here to cause trouble. Ma Xiaoyun hurriedly stepped forward, looking at Wu Shuang as if they were inches apart. Can we start over? Ha! I know, you're with Liu Yuxi now. Then why are you saying such things? But there's something I have to tell you. Ma Xiaoyun tilted her head, staring intently into Wu Shuang's eyes. Liu Yuxi is only with you because of the money. But I'm different. When you pretended to be poor, I was willing to be your girlfriend. Think about it, isn't that right? Then what? Wu Shuang gestured for Ma Xiaoyun to continue. Then I also figured it out. Breaking up before was a mistake. Ma Xiaoyun said excitedly, and the thing about forcing you in public, I was too emotional, I'm sorry. As she said this, she burst into tears, looking pitiful. Wu Shuang, when I think back to the beginning, I regret all the scenes when you pursued me. I know that you truly loved me, and I also loved you very much, and I still do. Love cannot be bought with money. I admit that Liu Yuxi is prettier and more elegant than me, but her intentions are not pure. Most importantly, she doesn't love you at all. Wu Shuang, look me in the eyes. If you nod, I will immediately belong to you again. Wu Shuang was silent as he looked into his ex-girlfriend's eyes. Reading, Massachusetts. Xiaoyun's list of desires for the host. 1. I must get back what I've lost. 2. No one knows how to manipulate Wu Shuang like I do, so nod quickly. 3. Go to hell, Liu Yuxi. Once I have money, I'll go to a foreign country to get plastic surgery and become more beautiful than you. Ahem. Even though he was mentally prepared, Wu Shuang was still disgusted by Ma Xiaoyun's desires. Admittedly, in the past, Ma Xiaoyun was indeed able to firmly control him. But that was in the past. I'm sorry, I'm afraid you're thinking too much. Wu Shuang shook his head and sneered, just you, do you deserve to say the word love? What do you mean? Ma Xiaoyun's eyes were filled with tears as she pretended to be ignorant and asked. What I mean is, you'd better not. It's quite a brain teaser to think of all those words, isn't it? Wu Shuang said coldly, it's still fucking mine, and you don't even look at your own virtue. Can you compare with Liu Yuxi? You're sure of me, aren't you? Huh, why isn't it working this time? You still want to get plastic surgery? Let me tell you, even if you become a fairy, you can't change your filthy heart. I have only one word for you, get lost. Chapter 10, this desire is hard to deal with. You told me to go away? In order to make Wu Shuang ride the tiger, Ma Xiaoyun has gone to great lengths this time. She deliberately chose a lively place with a lot of people to beg for a reunion. Because she knows that Wu Shuang is an introvert with a thin skin. Facing the sincere words and the touching tears. Plus so many people watching, it's almost a sure thing. As long as Wu Shuang nodded, the rest would be easy. Ma Xiaoyun spent a lot of money and bribed a lot of girls with snacks. She just had to get back together with Wu Shuang and launch a public opinion campaign against Liu Yuxi. She had already thought of the perfect line, gold-digging school beauty steals boyfriend, offering herself shamelessly. Perfect plan. Unfortunately, it completely failed. Don't think I don't know your evil intentions, you'd better stay away from me. Wu Shuang pointed at Ma Xiaoyun's nose without any courtesy. For the sake of the time we had a fling, this is the last chance, don't dig your own grave. You. Ma Xiaoyun was so angry that her face turned pale and her body was swaying. She glanced at the crowd around her and saw that they were all wearing sneers. Look at how rich the guy is, running back to beg for a reunion, isn't that despicable? Yes, but she's a good actress. I was worried that Wu Shuang would be impressed. Damn, with me here, how could Shuang be fooled? The loudest voice belonged to Wang Meng. Now he no longer called Wu Shuang Shuangzi, but Shuangga. He had originally brought people here to welcome Shuangga, who was now briefly free. Unexpectedly, he saw Ma Xiaoyun begging for a reunion. As the person who hated this woman the most, Wang Meng of course wouldn't miss the opportunity to slander her. He yelled at the top of his lungs, driving the tempo up. Ma Xiaoyun was so humiliated that she covered her face and ran. She skipped class and hid in her dorm room, sitting there like a fool. She was a person who valued her face above all else, and at the moment, her thoughts were not filled with regret, but hatred. Wu. I can't do anything to you, but I can mess with Liu Yuxi. With bloodshot eyes, Ma Xiaoyun was determined. After all, she had already spent a lot of money on bribing the girls with snacks. She simply continued with her plan to smear the school beauty Liu Yuxi and get back at her. Wu, I'll make your life hell, ha ha ha. Ma Xiaoyun let out a crazed laugh at the thought. After the class was over and everyone returned, she rushed into the dormitory next door. Sisters, we can start now. Post the mini essay and share it on your moments. Post what? In the dormitory, the girls were each holding a KFC family bucket and were happily eating. They turned a deaf ear to Ma Xiaoyun's orders. Of course it's posting Liu Yuxi's dirt, I arranged it a long time ago. Dirt? Come on, those things you made up have no basis in fact, we're not willing to post them. That won't do, you've all taken my things. Just those few bags of potato chips? Here, I'll give them back to you. A box of snacks was left unopened in front of Ma Xiaoyun. Smelling the aroma of KFC, she suddenly realized something was wrong. Who on earth is treating us? Who else but Shuang? A rough voice sounded, and Wang Meng appeared in front of the dormitory door, sweating profusely. As soon as they heard Wu Shuang's name, the girls' faces lit up with joy. He's so generous, treating the girls in the whole building to KFC. Gee, he's handsome and in good shape, I love him. Brother Meng, you've worked hard, come in and sit. Wang Meng scratches the back of his head, haha, I'd better not, I smell of sweat. The school doesn't allow takeaways to be brought in, so he and his friends carried them up to the girls' dormitory building with great difficulty. As for why they were invited to KFC. Ladies, you can start now. Wang Meng gave the order when he saw that the KFC had already been distributed. Post the mini essays and share them on WeChat. Okay. The girls wiped their greasy fingers and poked at their phone screens. What's this? Ma Xiaoyun, who had been completely ignored, leaned closer to take a look. She was shocked and her face turned pale. The so-called mini essays were actually about her. After learning that her ex-boyfriend was a low-key rich guy, the gold-digging slut licked his face and begged for a reunion. The number one green tea table in our school, as a roommate, I decided to expose her hypocritical face. The school beauty queen was framed by a vicious female supporting actor, but justice was served this time. Brother Shuang said, don't dig your own grave. Wang Meng looked at the distraught Ma Xiaoyun and said angrily. I didn't expect it, you are actually so snake-like and heartless. You want to blackmail my sister-in-law, huh? Damn it, I'll make sure you die this time. Girls, show no mercy, let her lose her reputation. Okay. The girls were already biased towards Liu Yuxi, and they had also eaten the KFC that Wu Shuang had invited them to, so they would not hold back. With a few taps of the fingers, the little essay was posted on the school forum, Circle of Friends, Zaya Hongshu, Douyin and other personal accounts. It's over. Witnessing all this happen, Ma Xiaoyun knew that she was finished. She was a woman who was extremely concerned about her reputation, otherwise she would not have forced Wu Shuang to admit to being dumped in the first place. It's over, the club is dead. The fate of being disgraced, Ma Xiaoyun didn't even dare to think about it. Amidst the laughter, she ran out, covering her face. Oomph, I knew you would do this. In the crowd, Wu Shuang's gaze was cold, watching the back of his ex-girlfriend. It's finally over. From now on, he won't tolerate anymore. Whoever dares to offend him will be crushed. 1 month later. Human desires are endless, and the school beauty is no exception. Her crazy material and carnal desires have changed her beyond recognition. She has become even more beautiful. As for Wu Shuang, he has also gained a bit of the temperament of a local tyrant. Name, Wu Shuang. Assets, 356,344 yuan. Attributes, Strength 28, Agility 19, Spirit 15, Constitution 18. Skills, Foreign Languages 2, Driving 10, First Aid 1, Gaming 3, Flirting 10, Ancestral Craft 8, Staff Combat 10, Combat 2. Items, none. Entry, 8-cylinder diamond kidney. With a strong body, Wu Shuang, in line with the principle of not wasting. Apart from sweating it out at night, he also didn't idle away the day, practicing basic combat with Wang Meng. During this month, 2 major events also happened at the school. First, Ma Xiaoyun could no longer face her reputation for being smelly, and she voluntarily dropped out of school. Second, the school contacted internship opportunities for the seniors, which they had to participate in. Therefore, the graduation exams were brought forward. Ding! Liu Yuxi's bucket list has been updated. 1. Please, I need to pass every subject. 2. I must grab a seat in the library. 3. I don't want to go on an internship, I want to spend every day with Brother Shuang. It's hard. Wu Shuang's head was spinning as he looked at the long list of his desires. There was no way he could satisfy them all. Preparing for a large number of exams in a short period of time is extremely painful for most people. The library was full all day long, and people studying late into the night were everywhere. Even Wang Meng has given up watching movies, saying that it's not good for the brain to watch too many. Only Wu Shuang is not afraid of exams at all. Although the attribute does not have the option of intelligence, the high spirit of up to 15 allows his mind to be highly alert and focused at all times. His learning efficiency has increased tremendously, and he can learn for an hour what others can learn for a whole day. Brother Shuang, I can't do this question. In the study room of the library, Liu Yuxi asked for help in a soft voice as thin as a mosquito. Come on, we're not the same major, so you'd better ask someone else about this question. Wu Shuang really couldn't stand the overly quiet atmosphere anymore, so he got up and left. He walked through a small door and arrived at the small forest at the back of the mountain. He lit a cigarette and was about to take a blissful drag when. Chapter 11. The goddess who is aloof in public is actually thinking about these desires. Wu Shuang turned her head sharply and saw several boys sneaking through the woods. They had unfamiliar faces, were all tall and strong, and were smiling lewdly. Here they come, guys, don't make a scene, watch the game civilly. Watch the game? Wu Shuang had no idea what this meant. Following the direction of the boys' gazes, she glanced. He saw a pretty young lady running along the narrow mountain path. Any beautiful woman, even from afar, can catch the eye. The young lady's skin was radiant, as if she were covered in holy light, and Wu Shuang's eyes widened. Closer. High ponytail, swan neck, one shoulder, perfect head-to-shoulder ratio. The young lady was wearing a purple sports tank top and yoga pants, with an extremely explosive figure, with a protruding front and a curvy back like a devil. Good goal. Wu Shuang suddenly realized, eyes not blinking, staring at the young lady's central highlands. Good stuff, top notch. ABCDF, up and down, front and back, left and right, it's so shocking. Closer. The young lady's almost perfect looks were completely exposed to Wu Shuang. The exquisite face flushed from vigorous exercise was full of lethal charm, simply beautiful beyond words. Looking down from the middle of the road, her waist was so small that you could barely hold it in your hands, and her abs and six-pack were clearly visible. Her invincible peach butt was attached to her round and slender legs, tightly wrapped in yoga pants, and was swinging powerfully. Hey, sex, sex. The young lady ran past quickly, and Wu Shuang suddenly felt a refreshing aroma coming from her. She was superb. If sweet and delicate Liu Yuxi is a typical traditional school beauty, this young lady running by is truly dazzling and hot. I told you I could see her here. Wow, that's amazing, the tight yoga pants are awesome. Shoot, it was only for a few seconds, shoot, shoot. The boys nearby were discussing and getting excited with obscene words. Wu Shuang heard it in her ears and understood that these guys were students from the sports institute next door. And that little sister was the #1 goddess of the sports institute, with a cold personality and a fiery temper, the kind that could only be admired from afar. She's back. Only a cry of alarm was heard, and the boys from the sports institute hurriedly hid in the woods. Stop hiding, I saw you a long time ago. The young lady crossed her arms, her gentle voice tinged with anger, peeping, is that it? You want to die? Get out here and let me practice. Goddess, please spare our lives, we came here to climb the mountain and just happened to see you. The boys explained, trembling with fear. So why did you go into the woods? It's a team sport, isn't it? The young lady frowned in anger and said, get out of here. Don't let me see you on the hill again, or I'll get rid of you. Yes, we'll go. The boys were so scared that they immediately slunk away, head in hands. Wu Shuang was puzzled by their behavior. What was the fuss about? They had only looked a few times, it wasn't even harassment. Afraid of being watched? Don't go out then. Hey, you too. At this point, the young lady had already appeared in front of Wu Shuang, also with a bad expression on her face. Look at you, all serious looking, peeping, right? Looking for death, right? That's enough, I came here to smoke. I didn't peek. Wu Shuang didn't want to be misunderstood. If you've done nothing wrong, you have nothing to be afraid of. He stared at the young lady in front of him and began to check her information. Name, Liu Lianin. Age, 20. Occupation, student. Looks, 89. Body type, hourglass figure. Special skills, intense sports, taekwondo. Hobbies, sports and fitness. Relationship status, single forever. Assets, 70,000 yuan in savings, 5,000 yuan monthly living expenses. Next, read desires. Reading Lu Liangyin's desire list for the host. 1. It's so annoying to just hang around, I've had enough of it. But if I don't do aerobic exercise, my muscles will be too obvious and that's not attractive. 2. I'm in a bad mood and want to find someone to spar with, but who would dare to spar with me? 3. Oh no, I forgot to make a reservation again, I won't be able to eat steak. It seems that this young lady, Lu Liangyin, comes from a very well-off family. As she savored her desires, Wu Shuang was taken aback. Ha ha! Lu Liangyin laughed, going to the back of the mountain to smoke? Why are you afraid the school will catch fire? Wait, where are you looking? I looked, so what? Wu Shuang looked like he was ready to die, provoking, it's not illegal to look, you're not going to hit me because of that, are you? Don't think just because you've trained your body, you can just hit me. I'm in a bad mood right now, so if you've got some nerve, try it. You! Lu Liangyin's fiery temper came up all of a sudden. As a goddess, she had always been let off the hook by boys. Even if they did fight, she was the captain of the school's taekwondo club and had an impressive record. Now there was someone who was actively provoking her, so how could she hold back? Die! Lu Liangyin raised her leg lightning fast and delivered a sudden strike. Bang! The fierce leg whip smashed into the side of Wu Shuang's knee. However, he didn't budge. Wow, you're pretty good. Lu Liangyin was secretly surprised. Usually, when this move is used, the opponent will definitely be unable to get up. No, it must have been the running that affected the strength of my legs. Again! Bang! Another violent leg sweep, but Wu Shuang still didn't budge. Instead, Lu Liangyin couldn't take it anymore. She had just put all her strength into it, but it was like hitting a steel plate. But she could not lose face, so she tried again. Hey! This time, Wu Shuang did not just take the kick, but struck back. She dodged lightly, then turned around and grabbed Lu Liangyin's right leg, causing her to lose her balance. Standing on one leg, she looked very embarrassed. Let go. Let go. What, you can only attack, but I can only defend? Why? Wu Shuang grinned wickedly and squeezed the beautiful leg in his hands. Tsk, you're holding it so tightly, aren't you afraid of the heat? It's made of sweat-absorbing and breathable material, it's expensive. After explaining, Lu Liangyin continued angrily, please let go, okay? Otherwise, I'll scream. Congratulations, the host has received a reward, 2 skill points. Successfully used skill points, congratulations, host, +2 combat. After receiving the reward, Wu Shuang was too lazy to argue and let go directly. You have practiced? Lu Liangyin rubbed her legs while wondering, you seem to have a quick reaction. Do you practice boxing? Congratulations, you guessed it right. I practiced boxing with a retired boxer for a few days. Wu Shuang didn't blush when he lied, and the retired boxer was none other than his roommate Wang Meng. This guy also learned from watching boxing matches and online tutorials. He is a pure amateur, and he is not qualified to be a teacher, but Wu Shuang's attributes are fierce enough. When they got to a topic of interest, Lu Liangyin instantly lost her temper. She hurriedly asked, I have fought people from the Sports Institute, so why haven't I heard of you? Because I'm from Beijing University, and I've never seen you either. Wu Shuang's answer made Lu Liangyin feel very embarrassed. If someone doesn't even know her, why would they come to the back mountain to watch the game? I'm sorry. It's okay. By the way, since we're both fighting enthusiasts, it's a good time to exchange ideas. Wu Shuang repeated his old trick, raising his handsome face and looking seriously at Lu Liangyin. I'm going to go eat steak tonight, if you don't mind, let's go together? I do mind. Lu Liangyin didn't take the bait at all. We don't know each other well, so why would we want to eat together? You don't have some other ulterior motive, do you? Since you're so on your guard, forget it. Wu Shuang said, turned around, and left. At the same time, he muttered to himself, this damn weather, running is so hot, I might as well go for a swim. Swim? Lu Liangyin's eyes lit up, and she took the bait in an instant. Chapter 12. You want to trick me into a hotel room? Swimming is arguably the perfect aerobic exercise. It can fully exercise the muscles of all parts of the body without damaging the joints, which is much better than running. Especially in the summer, it's so hot. Lu Liangyin followed Wu Shuang and asked, where are you going to swim? A private place. Wu Shuang said mysteriously, I'm a bit of a germaphobe and don't like public pools, so. Can I go? Lu Liangyin was ecstatic. Not a public pool? Great. As a sports fanatic, she knew the benefits of swimming. But both the school swimming pool and the pool at the gym outside were full of people. Not to mention the poor water quality, Lu Liangyin had even been followed and spied on while jogging, and she was going to go swimming in a swimsuit? That would be like giving away free benefits. Yes, absolutely no problem, Wu Shuang readily agreed, but the place is a bit far away, you don't mind, do you? Where is it? The Stars Garden Hotel. With a spiritual attribute of 15, it couldn't improve Wu Shuang's IQ, but it could keep his brain working at full speed. After understanding Lu Liangyin's desires, Wu Shuang quickly came up with a plan to satisfy them. Feeling down and wanting to practice with someone? This desire was the easiest to satisfy and quickly taken care of. Don't want to wander around, but want to do some aerobic exercise? This wasn't difficult either, just pay for it. The Zhongxing Garden Hotel, located 5 kilometers from the university town, is a garden resort hotel. It is a 5-star resort hotel with many pools of different sizes. Except for holidays, there are basically no customers here, which is a great place to satisfy desires. I'm in. As expected, after Lu Liangyin learned that it was a formal place, she immediately nodded in agreement. She rushed back to school, packed her equipment, and hurried to the school gate. There she saw a cool Mercedes-Benz sports car. Beep beep. Wu Shuang was sitting in the driver's seat, honking the horn, attracting the sideways glances of passers-by. The girls in particular had desires written all over their faces. Everyone had endless desires, but after having Liu Yuxi, Wu Shuang had set his own standards. It had to be a goddess, or a good relationship, or someone worth helping, and he wouldn't touch anything else. Besides, not everyone was grateful, so there was no point in getting sick and upset. Is this your car? Lu Liangyin changed into a sports dress, carried a big bag, and got into the car. Yes, apart from sports, I'm also interested in racing. Wu Shuang calmly released the electronic handbrake, shifted gears, and turned the steering wheel. After driving out of the school gate parking lot, he told Lu Liangyin, sit tight. After that, there was a violent launch, and the Mercedes-Benz AMG E53 roared out like an arrow, weaving through the crowded road like no man's land. Driving level 10 is awesome. We'll be there in a few minutes. By the way, are you okay? Wu Shuang glanced at Lu Liangyin and found that she was actually calm and composed. A profile view of her face was breathtakingly beautiful, with long, curled eyelashes, bright beautiful eyes, a tall and delicate nose, and luscious red lips. I'm fine. Look ahead and don't get distracted. Although they were both goddesses, the difference between Lu Liangyin and Liu Yuxi was extraordinary, and it was due to their family environments. Having been spoiled since childhood, she has everything she wants, which has made Lu Liangyin confident and arrogant, absolutely aloof, and with a bad temper. After arriving at the hotel, she quickly walked towards the indoor swimming pool. Seeing that there was actually someone inside, she immediately angrily said, "Is this what you mean by private?" "No, did I say it was here?" Wu Shuang sneered, turned around and walked away. Entering the high-speed elevator, it soared straight to the top floor of the hotel. You want to trick me into checking in? Looking at the empty and quiet corridor, Lu Liangyin felt something was wrong. Please, this is a 5-star hotel, and we have both checked in. Wu Shuang shook his head, unless I can't wait to go to jail, otherwise I wouldn't use such a stupid trick. Then what? You'll see. Wu Shuang opened the door and pointed inside. The executive deluxe suite costs 8,888 per night, with 3 bedrooms, 2 living rooms, and a huge infinity pool. It's hot, isn't it? I'm going to rent this place for a few months. Isn't it private enough? It's perfect. Lu Liangyin exclaimed. Looking at the huge, crystal-clear pool, she was overwhelmed. My goodness, he's really extravagant to spend so much just for swimming. Speaking of family backgrounds, Lu Liangyin's family is considered to be moderately wealthy, with some money, but they would never dare to spend it so extravagantly. But she had no idea that Wu Shuang only had a few $100,000 in his hands. He gets a discount on the rent, which is less than 2,000 yuan a night. Thank you, Wu Shangpai. Lu Liangyin felt a little bad about just snubbing Wu Shangpai. But her arrogant personality made her unable to lower her head and apologize, so she went to the refrigerator, got a bottle of water, and twisted the cap open to serve it to Wu Shangpai. Okay, don't be a drag, just go swimming. But I have one more request. Say it. I want to swim alone. Lu Liang lowered her voice and said apologetically, what I want to say is, we can't swim at the same time. Can you wait until I'm done before you get into the pool? This is too much. Wu Shuang had never seen such a rude woman before. This is his room, after all. But then he thought, it doesn't matter. As long as I get the reward, I can worry about the rest later. Okay, you go ahead and swim. Thank you, Wu Shuang. Lu Liangyin gave a slight bow and quickly walked into the room. After more than 10 minutes, she shyly walked out wearing a conservative two-piece bikini. Holy shit! At just a glance, Wu Shuang's heartbeat quickened and his breathing became rapid. Lu Liangyin's conservative bikini was no different from her previous yoga clothes, consisting of a small tank top and hot pants. However, the difference was that the bikini fabric was extremely light and thin, and the elasticity was average. It was barely concealing anything. It can't even cover it. Plop plop plop. Wu Shuang's heart was beating uncontrollably, frantically. Although he had a lot of experience watching porn and had seen many exaggerated teachers, it was completely different to witness it for real, and at such a close distance. As Lu Liangyin lowered her head and rushed into the pool, Wu Shuang couldn't hold back any longer. He stood up anxiously, wanting to watch as much as he could. Ding! Congratulations, you have obtained the item, Jump Card. Jump Card, each time your heart beats, you will receive a reward of 100 yuan, limited to 6 hours. No way, is it that good? With a pounding heart, Wu Shuang hurriedly opened his phone. Scientific research shows that the normal heartbeat of an adult is between 86,000 and 144,000 beats per day, with an average of about 100,000 beats. For abnormal people, it is more than twice that number. In a state of excitement and high spirits, you can earn more than 7 million in 6 hours. Use the jump card immediately. Wu Shuang didn't hesitate for a second, and with a sneer, he walked towards the pool. Chapter 13, The Fox's Tail is Showing. Lu Liangyin was swimming recklessly in the water when she heard a splash and Wu Shuang went under. She was furious and said, "How could you go back on your word?" "Because I thought about it and felt that I was being taken advantage of." Wu Shuang slowly swam towards Lu Liangyin and said excitedly, "I paid for this room, so why can't I swim? Besides, aren't you just afraid of being seen? Ha, we're both human, and we both have great bodies, so why shouldn't I be afraid of being seen?" You! Lu Liangyin was about to rebuke him when her eyes froze. Oh my god! Am I seeing this right? An invincible, perfect body. He actually has such a great body. As a professional who knows her stuff, Lu Liangyin was more shocked than anyone else when she saw Wu Shuang's body. Every inch of skin and every muscle was so flawless. It's as if they were printed out from a mold, and they are of a standard that could be included in a fitness textbook. I'm crazy. Lu Liangyin was so mesmerized that she went crazy, but this was not a crazy love for the opposite sex, but pure admiration. For a moment, she forgot about her own existence. That's good, you look at me and I look at you, and we can both look at each other enough. Wu Shuang smiled wickedly and leaned closer, beginning to watch the game in a civilized manner. Lu Liangyin not only didn't mind, she even held out her hand. "Can I touch them?" "Go ahead." What firm muscles! It's impossible to achieve without a decade of hard work. How did you train yourself? You want to learn? I'd rather you didn't. Softness is better. What's soft about it? I can't compare with you, but I do weight training every day. Having said that, Lu Liangyin finally noticed something was wrong. Recovering his focus, he saw Wu Shuang close at hand and instinctively backed away. But this is the swimming pool, it's not that easy to move. Gulub, gulub, gulub. Lu Liangyin's head fell straight into the water, and after choking on a few gulps, she inevitably grabbed onto anything as a straw. Hey, don't do that, it hurts. Wu Shuang quickly fished her out and held her in his arms. His heartbeat reached its peak. Lu Liangyin opened her mouth and cursed, "Bastard, let me go." Oh. Wu Shuang had no choice but to let go. Gilu gilu. This time, Lu Liangyin floundered around a bit, and finally managed to float on her own. She covered her chest and coughed non-stop, and it took a while for her to come to her senses. She looked straight at Wu Shuang. Ding! Lu Liangyin's wish list has been updated. 1. I love his muscles to death. I want to touch them again. 2. The environment here is really nice, I want to take some selfies. 3. I heard that the Western food in this hotel is pretty good, I kind of want to eat it. It was obvious that Lu Liangyin no longer minded swimming together. Wu Shuang was of course happy about this, and kept swimming around to keep his heart rate up and earn money. A few hours later, it was nearing evening. Lu Liangyin's energy was almost depleted, and she could no longer swim. She climbed to the shore, wrapped herself in a towel, and curled up with her legs crossed on a deck chair. The setting sun shone on the infinity pool, rippling golden. The distant mountains were tinged with orange and red, and a breeze brought a refreshing breeze, which immediately dissipated the heat. Lu Liangyin took a deep breath, closed her eyes, and her mood improved along with the beautiful scenery. Just then, a strong figure suddenly appeared. Wu Shuang was holding 2 glasses of chilled juice in her hands and smiled. Lu, have something to drink to replenish your energy. Lu Liangyin took the juice and nodded slightly, thank you. By the way, you just said that my figure is perfect, but what's going on here? Wu Shuang pointed at her abdomen and asked with a pretense of concern. Let me see. Lu Liangyin got straight to work and explained seriously, this is muscle texture, wow, it's all ripped. With her praise, her small hands just couldn't stop. Congratulations, host, you have received a reward, 3 attribute points. Successfully used attribute points, congratulations, host, plus 3 strength. Hint, since the strength attribute value of the host has exceeded 30, please choose the subsequent enhancement effect. Effect 1, continue to strengthen the muscles and become a super muscle king. Effect 2, further strengthen the muscles and bones to improve explosive power. Of course, I'll choose 2. Wu Shuang doesn't want to turn into a mountain of flesh. It's very strong, but it's too abnormal and doesn't look good. The follow-up enhancement effect has been confirmed. Increasing the strength attribute will further strengthen the muscles and bones while also consolidating muscle strength. Wow! It's actually become harder. Lu Liangyin was feeling it, and suddenly noticed that Wu Shuang's muscles were beginning to pulse. It was as if he had been injected with steel, incredibly strong. You've been feeling it all along, of course, enough. Wu Shuang bounced to his feet and dodged Lu Liangyin's grasping hands. He tensed his muscles and assumed a fierce stance. The setting sun shone on his body, as if plating it in gold, like an elegant and noble sculpture. Wow! Lu Liangyin's mouth opened and closed, and she was mesmerized. At that moment, Wu Shuang ordered, what are you doing? Hurry up and take my picture. Huh? Okay. Lu Liangyin hurriedly took out her phone and frantically pressed the shutter button at Wu Shuang. Let me see. Wu Shuang, being a straight man, has always hated taking photos. The reason for doing so is not to seduce Lu Liangyin's desire. Well, it's a good shot. In return, I'll take a few of you too. Me? No need. Lu Liangyin refused, but she didn't resist in her heart. Once Wu Shuang pointed the camera at her, she immediately lifted the towel off her body. Her long legs were crossed, her hands supporting her on the recliner, and her eyes looking up at the sky. The setting sun shone on her body, which defied the heavens, also coating it in a golden light, as if she were a holy and noble goddess in charge of the diet of babies on earth. Pounding, 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 pounding. Looking at the ultimate beauty in the camera, Wu Shuang's heartbeat reached a peak once again. After the photoshoot, they added each other as friends on WeChat and exchanged photos. Wu Shuang added a drooling emoji behind the photo. Lu Liangyin's face turned slightly red, and she also added an expression with sparkling eyes. After exchanging photos, the two smiled at each other. Congratulations, host, you have received a reward, 3 skill points. By the way, senior, this hotel should have a gym, right? Huh? Faced with Lu Liangyin's sudden question, Wu Shuang didn't have time to add anything. I think so. Why do you still want to keep up with your fitness routine? Well, I do cardio and weights every day to keep in shape. Lu Liangyin is known as the goddess of sports and fitness fanatic. She spends all her time, except for studying, on sports and fitness, which is crazy. She spends an hour at the gym before leaving satisfied. Ooh, I'm so hungry, I want a big meal. I've already made arrangements, let's go. Wu Shuang gave a mysterious smile and led Lu Liangyin to the hotel restaurant. It was dark inside, except for the faint candlelight flickering on one table. The waiter, dressed in a suit, bowed slightly and said politely, please sit, the appetizers will be served soon. Wow, a candlelight dinner. Lu Liangyin was thrilled because she had always wanted to try the Western food at this hotel, and she hadn't expected to be so quickly satisfied. Parmesan cheese soufflé, please enjoy. Soon the waiter brought the exquisite dish and opened a bottle of Romane Conti. As the mellow red wine was poured into the tall glass, Lu Liangyin's pretty face also flushed red. "Classmate Wu, this arrangement of yours is a bit. It's just a casual meal, let's eat." Seeing the cold and arrogant goddess acting like a little girl, Wu Shuang was quite pleased. Ding! Lu Liangyin's list of desires has been updated. 1. The fox's tail is showing. He really does have bad intentions. I can't stay, I have to sneak out. 2. But this meal is really tempting, I might as well eat it and finish it. 3. Yes, that's right, I'll finish eating normally, then go back to school and never see him again. Chapter 14, Help Round Up the People. By candlelight, Lu Lianyin was savoring the food, when she suddenly noticed something was wrong with the person in front of her. "What's wrong, Wu?" "Nothing, come, drink." Wu Shuang shook off the sense of defeat in his heart and lifted his wine glass. Up until just now, the jump card had expired, and 7.2 million had been earned. Plus 7 skill points that haven't been used yet. This is a windfall, no loss at all. As for Lu Lianyin? The new desire is pretty good, just satisfy her. After dinner, Wu Shuang and Lu Lianyin walked out of the restaurant one after the other. When they arrived at the quiet lobby, they stopped. Classmate Wu, I still have some things to do, I have to go back to school. Okay, take care. Lu Lianyin was at a loss for words. What was going on? No matter how you looked at it, this was a long-planned, carefully orchestrated, and ill-intentioned scheme by Wu Shuang. Wasn't everything leading up to something happening with her? And now she was letting her go? At this, Wu Shuang narrowed her eyes and asked, "What, you don't expect me to walk you out, do you?" "No way. I'll just call a cab." Lu Lianyin unswervingly opened her phone and placed an order for an online car service. She added, "By the way, Wu, thank you for your hospitality today, but I've thought about it and it's still not very convenient. I can't come swimming anymore." "Oh, whatever." Wu Shuang's attitude was very cold, and she didn't even wait with Lu Lianyin for the car. She walked back to the hotel lobby alone, ordered a cup of coffee, and smoked a huazi while drinking it. Congratulations, the host has received a reward, 3 skill points. 10 minutes later, the reward arrived, which meant that Lu Lianyin had already left. "Hello, check out." Wu Shuang also decisively chose to leave, paid the room fee and started the car, speeding all the way. Back at the rental house, he gently pushed open the door. The strong cold air hit him in the face, and he saw Liu Yuxi leaning over the desk, trying hard to study seriously. She was wearing a sexy silk nightie, and because the air conditioning was set to a very low temperature, her legs were wrapped in high-end black silk stockings, the sequins on which gave off an alluring sheen. "You're back?" Hearing the noise, Liu Yuxi hurriedly turned around. Her pretty face was full of joy, and she grabbed Wu Shuang and urged, "Look at all the sweat on you, let's go take a shower together." In the following week, Wu Shuang and Lu Lianyin never met again. The only communication was a mutual like on WeChat. For Wu Shuang, satisfying desires was the same as working, getting one done and moving on to the next. But for Lu Lianyin, something was not quite right. Hoo. In the gym at the Sports Institute, the goddess of sports was lying on a bench, pushing a barbell with all her might. As her upper body swung, inevitably, it sent out terrifying ripples. This excited the surrounding boys, and one after the other they stopped moving and stared. "What are you looking at?" Lu Lianyin let go of the barbell, got up and roared. "You can't get enough, can you? Warnings are useless, aren't they? Disgusting. Shameless. Get out of here, all of you. This is a public place, what makes you think I should leave?" One of the boys muttered. "Then close your eyes." This made Lu Lianyin even more angry. She walked angrily up to the boy, pointed at his nose, and said, "Don't think I don't know it. You're not here to work out at all. You're just here to do disgusting things." I've been working out here for over a year, and my body hasn't changed at all. I'm telling you, if you keep looking, I'll gouge out your eyes." Her fierce appearance directly scared the boy. The others also lowered their heads, afraid to make eye contact. The goddess is on fire today. Not just today, she's been like this for the past few days. Haven't you seen that there are very few people at the gym? Could it be that she's in her special period? It's possible. Anyway, let's avoid her for now and watch the game in a civilized manner after a while. A lot of idle gossip drifted into Lu Lianyin's ears. Damn it! In fact, she wasn't in her special period at all. The reason for her bad temper was because of a certain person. Recently, whenever she closed her eyes, the lifelike image of Wu Shuang would appear in her mind. Handsome, rich, with a great body, generous, considerate. The only drawback is that he's too predictable. He can guess what's on my mind. Lu Liangyin really doesn't like being manipulated like this. She's convinced that Wu Shuang is a super scumbag. She must not fall into his trap. Hoo. Lu Liangyin took a deep breath to try and get rid of the distracting thoughts in her head. Focus. Exercise properly. Come on. Meanwhile, at Beijiang University next door, a fierce basketball match was underway on the playground. Diao Mao, what the hell are you doing? You can't even catch the ball. Wang Meng, the main center, panted as he yelled at his teammate. It's just an entertainment match, why are you taking it so seriously? I'm not playing anymore. The boy called Dang Mao was very unhappy and actually walked away without even turning his head. This made Wang Meng panic. Hey! Why are you acting like a woman, getting angry over a few words? Come back here. Back to hell. Damn. There was nothing he could do, so Wang Meng had to turn to his teammates and ask, are we playing or not? Play, we're not even tired yet. But there's one person missing. Just call someone to make up the numbers. Just make do, right? Just then, Wu Shuang and Liu Yuxi walked past holding hands. Wang Meng hurriedly shouted, Brother Shuang, come over and help make up the numbers. Reading Wang Meng's wish list for the host. 1. Please, Brother Shuang, just say yes. Even though you can't play, your physique can compete. 2. I've long looked at the guy across from me with displeasure. We must win this game. 3. Alas, despite my excellent ball skills, no girls have come to cheer for me. I really want to be popular. Okay. Wu Shuang readily agreed, walked into the court and asked, what were the rules again? I forgot. His question instantly caused a loud laugh. Only Wang Meng did not dare to laugh, and with great difficulty, he explained to Wu Shuang, Brother Shuang, first, you must maintain the dribble. Wu Shuang had been a nerd in the past, the kind of person who hardly participated in any sports activities, focusing his energy on licking his girlfriend and playing games. Of course, he didn't have any sporting talent either. No problem, let's start. Congratulations, host, you have received a reward, attribute points x1. Successfully used attribute points, congratulations, host, agility +1. The game resumed, and Wang Meng, having learned his lesson, decided to go it alone. After getting the ball, he didn't pass it at all, but just went for a hard drive. At first, he scored a few points in a row. However, as his opponent became more vigilant, he began to feel the strain. With no choice, Wang Meng could only throw the ball to a nearby teammate. When he looked, it was Wu Shuang. Holding the basketball, he looked a little dazed. Shit, Shuang, pass the ball already. Wang Meng thought to himself, this is not good, I'm afraid I'm going to lose the ball. However, things were far from as simple as he thought. Ding! 3 different sports have been completed. Congratulations, host, you have mastered a new skill, comprehensive sports, which includes all regular sports. Note, athletic performance is highly related to physical attributes. Successfully used skill points, congratulations, host, comprehensive sports +10. Wu Shuang used all 10 skill points he had saved up on comprehensive sports. Highly related to physical attributes? Then I'm invincible, right? Chapter 15, Help Me Suck It Out. The basketball court was a bloody mess. A merciless massacre was underway. Wu Shuang's opponents had completely collapsed. Whoosh! Another three-pointer. He's hit 10 out of 10. Continuous feints, all his opponents have been shaken off, no one is guarding him anymore. What? A dunk from the three-point line. He's flying. Wang Meng stood on the sidelines, screaming at the top of his lungs, excitedly giving the girls in the crowd a live commentary. Yes, an originally unpopular game had become the focus of everyone's attention because of Wu Shuang's great performance. Especially the girls, hearing that there was a handsome guy like Rukawa playing, they all came running over. Wow! He's so handsome, I can't take it anymore. One more. The male god, give us another one. Congratulations, host, you have received a reward, attribute points x2. Successfully used skill points, congratulations, host, spirit +2. Listening to the girls' cheers, Wu Shuang felt very appreciated. He bent over to dribble the ball, ready to shine again. Ahem! At this time, Liu Yuxi couldn't stand it anymore and quickly barged into the court. She said in a sweet voice, "I say, there's no need to continue this game, right?" Wang Meng hurriedly explained, "But there are still a few minutes." Thanks to Wu Shuang, he had already won the favor of many girls with his passionate commentary. Ending the game at this time? It was simply unbearable. Shut up! Liu Yuxi ignored Wang Meng and walked over to Wu Shuang, speaking in a low voice. "Brother Shuang, it's getting late, so just spare the opponent some face and don't continue." "Okay." Wu Shuang nodded and looked at his opponents. "So it ends like this? You guys lose?" The opponents nodded as one, saying in unison, "We admit defeat. We are convinced." "Wait." At this, Wang Meng rushed over, unrelenting, saying, "We agreed beforehand that the losers would have to go to the back of the mountain and kowtow." "Ha!" Facing Wu Shuang's confusion, Wang Meng hurriedly explained. All along, there had been a prize for their basketball games. The losing team would either buy cigarettes and drinks, or treat everyone to a meal. But Wang Meng's teammates were really bad, and they had hardly won at all in the past 4 years of college. Because they really felt bad about the money, and at Wang Meng's insistence, the stakes became punishments. Losing meant running laps on the playground, braving the girls' dormitory, eating chili peppers raw. Wang Meng was a competitive person, and the more he lost, the more he wanted to turn the tables and get his money back. Until he lost so badly that he was ready to do anything, including kneeling push-ups, calling out dad, and even applying medicated oil. As for today's climb up the back mountain and kowtowing, it was a real thrill. At the top of the mountain there was a flat area with some scattered graves. The losing team had to go up and find a random grave to kowtow in before they were done. Damn, that's a big deal. After hearing this, Wu Shuang wanted to scold Wang Meng, "Son of a bitch. If we don't add some comprehensive sports, we'll definitely lose this game, and the one who has to kowtow to the wild head will be ourselves. Let's go, now. We'll be supervising from behind." As for Wang Meng, he was extremely excited. He had finally won. He had gotten his money back. He was able to hold his head high. "What are you all doing? Don't tell me you're scared. Damn it, you have to accept your losses. Let's go." Congratulations, the host has received a reward, 3 skill points. After winning the game, Wu Shuang, just like before, did not immediately use his skill points. He let Liu Yuxi go home by himself, while he and Wang Meng escorted the loser up the mountain. The school's back mountain is a large mountain bordering several universities in the area. During the day, there are usually many people on the mountain. There are people like Lu Liangyin, who exercise and run, there are couples who can't bear the cost of a hotel room, and there are also hikers from outside. But in the evening, the mountain is rarely visited. Because there are snakes up there. It's summer, and it's the season for snakes to appear. Wang Meng picked up a stick from somewhere and kept knocking on the grass along the way. "Big brother, can you stop? You're making me nervous." One guy pointed at the dark forest ahead and said, trembling with fear. "Ha, scared? We're only halfway up the mountain." Instead, Wang Meng beat the bushes even harder. "You're not worried about disturbing the spirits, are you?" "Oh yeah, I heard that before, a girl at school hung herself here." "Big brother, I beg you to stop." "Aha!" Just then, a piercing scream suddenly sounded in the distance. Oh my god! Including Wang Meng, the group of people were directly scared stiff. What the hell? It's a girl. Damn, what a creepy scream. I'm not going to kowtow anymore, I want to go back. Lang, don't go back. Wang Meng suddenly became anxious, picked up his stick and was about to scold him, when suddenly a gust of wind blew past his ear. It was Wu Shuang. After hearing the screams, he immediately started running. He was familiar with the voice. Without hesitation, he sped up along the rugged mountain road. Like a cheetah, he rushed to the location where the sound came from. It was dark and quiet. But this didn't bother Wu Shuang, who directly pulled out his phone, clicked on an avatar on WeChat, and placed a voice call. Buzz buzz buzz. A faint vibration sounded, and it was actually at the bottom of the hill. Wu Shuang held the phone torch, and the beam swayed in the darkness. Due to the recent heavy rains, the soil was very wet and slippery. He struggled to maintain his balance and slowly slid down the hill. Pushing aside the dense grass half a person high, a dark figure suddenly appeared inside, and it was Liu Yuxi. At the moment, she was curled up on the ground, her eyes closed, her tight yoga clothes in tatters. Her snow-white skin was covered in shocking abrasions. "She's not passed out." Wu Shuang hurriedly helped her up and patted her face, but there was no response. "It's over. She's not going to get cold, is she? Wait, I have an idea." Wu Shuang suddenly remembered that the school had organized an emergency rescue training back then, and he had learned the basics because he was interested. Although he had forgotten most of it by now. It was still in the skills column, so he could add points to it. Successfully used skill points, congratulations host, first aid +3. Level 4 first aid, already at the threshold of professional level. A flood of relevant knowledge rushed into his brain, and Wu Shuang gave a start, and once again carefully examined Liu Yuxi. She had a head injury and was unconscious, her breathing was extremely weak, and she needed immediate cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Wu Shuang quickly laid Liu Yuxi on the ground, keeping her head tilted back. She held her chin up with one hand and pinched her nostrils with the other to ensure an unobstructed airway. Then, she performed chest compressions at the center of Liu Yuxi's sternum. "Hey show! Hey show!" After 2 breaths for every 30 chest compressions, she performed a few cycles of this, and Liu Yuxi slowly opened her eyes. "Weakly, Wu, classmate Wu?" Wu Shuang's face fell. "What's wrong with you? Why were you climbing a mountain in the middle of the night? If it weren't for me, you would probably be dead. Do you understand? I just didn't want to be seen, that's why I came here to run at night." Okay, just wake up and keep quiet. When you recover a bit, I'll help you up." Liu Yuxi nodded lightly, but as soon as her lips closed, they opened wide again the next second. "Snake." "Ha?" Following Liu Yuxi's gaze, Wu Shuang looked back. Good grief, a large, brightly colored snake was coming at them like lightning. "Shit." Wu Shuang covered his chest and shouted at Liu Yuxi, "No good, I've been bitten, hurry, help me suck it out." Chapter 16 A Little Hobby. "I've sucked it for more than 10 times, are you feeling better?" Liu Yuxi looked up and said with blood-stained lips, "You must hang on, don't scare me." "Okay. I feel a little better." Wu Shuang looked weak and said weakly, "I think there is still some residual venom, continue sucking." "Okay." As Liu Yuxi obediently lowered her head, Wu Shuang's mouth curled up into a wicked smile. Identifying poisonous snakes is one of the most basic first aid skills. That's why Wu Shuang recognized at a glance that the snake that bit him was a red-banded snake. This is a small to medium-sized non-venomous snake in the family Colubridae, genus Elaphe. It shrinks into a triangle shape when threatened and has a bright body color, so it is often mistaken for a venomous snake. Hey, if I didn't do that, how would I get the goddess to move her lips? I really can't suck anymore. Liu Yuxi was already injured, and after a while of intense sucking, her body completely gave out. She collapsed on Wu Shuang's chest and couldn't even lift her head. After resting like this for a while, she heard movement above her head. "Shuanga?" It was Wang Meng, who had finally found his way here with his men. "I'm down here, hurry and get a rope." The night in the mountains was humid and muggy, and there were a lot of mosquitoes. Wu Shuang had had enough. Hospital. Emergency department. "You are in a very dangerous situation," the emergency doctor said with some emotion after examining Liu Yuxi's injuries, falling down a cliff into an uninhabited area, and if you had been there overnight, I'm afraid. You're lucky to have been rescued, and the key is that his first aid techniques were very professional. "Young man, are you a medical student?" "No, I'm from Beijiang University, and first aid is just a little hobby of mine." Wu Shuang's casual remark made the emergency doctor even more shocked. Hobby? There are people who have this as a hobby? Anyway, young man, you saved a life. In the hospital bed, Liu Yuxi listened to this remark with mixed feelings. She had clearly deliberately not wanted to see him, but he appeared just when she needed him most. Could this be fate? Wait, she had been thinking about herself, but what about his injuries? Bitten by a poisonous snake? The emergency doctor was shocked when Liu Yuxi told him, and quickly pulled open Wu Shuang's collar. There was a bloody wound on the pectoral muscle on the right side of his chest. Is this definitely a poisonous snake bite? Yes. I saw it with my own eyes, it was a huge snake. Liu Yuxi explained very seriously, I was afraid that the venom would enter his body, so I sucked it for a long time, but I don't know if I sucked it all out. You've watched too many martial arts movies. If you have an oral ulcer, you can also get poisoned, you know. After a careful examination, the emergency doctor made a diagnosis: it shouldn't be a poisonous snake. Goodness, the little girl is quite strong at sucking. After that, he went to call the nurse to deal with the wound. The room was exceptionally quiet. Wu Shuang touched his injured eye, while Lu Liangyin blushed. Ding! Lu Liangyin's bucket list has been updated. 1. This is so embarrassing. I hope he'll speak to me. 2. I need to go to the bathroom, I can't hold it in anymore. 3. I really want to take a nice bath and go to bed, but the environment here. After reading the list, Wu Shuang immediately spoke up. Lu, thank you for helping me suck out the snake venom. Congratulations, you have received a reward, attribute points x1. Successfully used attribute points, congratulations, mental strength +1. No. No need to say that. You were the one who saved me first. Lu Liangyin was now in the most embarrassing situation. She had deliberately distanced herself from Wu Shuang, but she was saved by Wu Shuang. As a result, she now felt a strong sense of guilt and didn't know what to say. But Wu Shuang didn't care about any of that. What the heck, she's not going to pass up the reward in front of her. Student Lu, you look nervous and your arches are straight. Is there something you're not telling me? Ha? You can tell? Ha, everyone has to go to the bathroom sometimes. Here, let me help you. At this point, Lu Liangyin could only agree. She put an arm around Wu Shuang and struggled into the bathroom. After a while, she opened the door refreshed. Where was everyone? Wu Shuang, who was supposed to be guarding the door, was gone. Just as Lu Liangyin was getting anxious, several smiling nurses hurried over. Ms. Lu, right? Your room has been changed, please follow us. Ha? Confused, Lu Liangyin was gently supported by the nurses as they walked to the upper floors of the hospital. When the elevator doors opened, the sight before her took Lu Liangyin by surprise. The corridor was spacious and bright, with soft carpeting, lush greenery on both sides, and a light fragrance in the air, as if she were in a luxury hotel. The nurse said softly, Ms. Lu, this is our hospital's VIP ward. Each room is equipped with a separate lounge area, a private bathroom, and 24-hour dedicated nurse service. Lu Liangyin was taken to the door of a ward. The nurse gently pushed open the door, and what came into view was a warmly decorated suite. In the living room, there was a combination sofa, a tea table, a large screen TV, and all kinds of facilities. You could also see the night view of the city through the floor-to-ceiling windows. As for the room, it is completely up to the standards of a high-end hotel. Is this really my hospital room? Lu Liangyin couldn't help but exclaim in surprise. The nurse nodded with a smile. Yes, it is a bit expensive, but it is really enviable to have a boyfriend who cares about you and is willing to spend money on you. Boyfriend? You can't mean. Lu Liangyin hadn't had time to say the name when Wu Shuang hurriedly walked in with a plastic bag. Sitting in front of the coffee table, he took out delicious dishes, which immediately filled the room with a delicious aroma. I'm starving. By the way, do you want some? No thanks, we've already eaten. The nurse politely declined. I won't disturb you too. Get some rest, and if you feel unwell, just ring the bell. The door closed gently. Lu Liangyin picked up her chopsticks, but for a moment she didn't know what to say. This was so thoughtful and perfect. If this were any other girl, she would have fallen for him already, right? How am I going to face him? Never mind, I'll just fill my stomach, take a nice bath and go to sleep. Congratulations, you have obtained the item, Move Card Plus Edition. Move Card Plus Edition, every step you take will earn you 100 yuan in rewards for 6 hours. Wu Shuang was eating so hard that his cheeks were puffed up, and he almost choked when he heard the reward. Yay! More money! This time it's 10 times the last amount, 1.2 million. After gulping it down in a few big bites, he hurriedly got up. He said to Lu Liangyin, you rest well, bye. Then he left the ward quickly, activated the plus version of the Dongdong card, and went to make money. Hey! Lu Liangyin couldn't believe it. First, he saved her life, and then he was so nice to her, but he just left without doing anything? Who exactly is he? Chapter 17, My Pigeon is Invincible. A few days later. In the rented room. Wu Shuang is lying on the sofa, enjoying the food Liu Yuxi is feeding him. Open your mouth, ah. It tastes good. He looks at Liu Yuxi, who is wearing a maid's uniform, holding a tray, her black silk legs bent. Wu Shuang breathes heavily and says, "Quick, feed me more." "No way, I have to go to school." Liu Yuxi said with a bad temper, "I'm not like you, not reviewing all day. If you fail the exam, what are you going to do?" "Ha, it's just an exam, do you think I can't handle it?" "Of course I can handle it, my brother Shuang is the best. He can handle anything." "That's good to know." Wu Shuang shrugged his shoulders and sat up. "My concubine, hurry up and help me get dressed." "Your servant obeys." Liu Yuxi pretended to be submissive, helping Wu Shuang put on the loose-fitting, trendy clothes from a luxury brand. As the saying goes, people rely on their clothes. Once the set was on, the local tyrant vibe came pouring out, just missing a big gold chain. Name, Wu Shuang. Assets, 8,123,477 yuan. Attributes, Strength 31, Agility 27, Spirit 22, Constitution 25. Skills, 4th level in foreign languages, 10th level in driving, 4th level in first aid, 5th level in games, 10th level in flirting, 8th level in ancestral craftsmanship, 10th level in stick fighting, 7th level in combat, 10th level in comprehensive sports. Items, none. Entry, 8-cylinder diamond kidney. Of course, Wu Shuang was not dressing up so carefully to go to school and study, but to satisfy his best friend Wang Meng's desires. He walked to the school gate and parted ways with Liu Yuxi. It wasn't long before Wang Meng arrived, sweating profusely. 1. I really want to go to a celebrity boxing match. But the ticket costs 2 months' worth of my living expenses, which is way too expensive. 2. When will I get a girlfriend? I'm dying for one. 3. I want to have the same body as brother Shuang, and I'll give up going to the gym. Not every desire of a person can be fulfilled. Just like Wang Meng, Wu Shuang can't solve the latter too. Brother Shuang, why did you call me out? What do you see here? Wu Shuang took out a piece of colorful printed paper and waved it. Holy shit! Wang Meng was shocked by the surprise and, without regard for the people around him, directly hugged Wu Shuang. He was about to use his plump lips when a figure sprang up next to him. What are you guys? Lu Liangyin looked great, wearing a sports tank top and loose sports leggings, with limited edition AJs on his feet. With a slightly furrowed brow, she looked strangely at the two men entwined together. Ahem, you're discharged? Wu Shuang used his hidden strength to shake off Wang Meng and explained, I was just giving him a gift, he's just so excited. A guy giving a guy a present. Lu Liangyin still found it strange, until Wu Shuang pulled out the tickets for the celebrity boxing match. Wow, so this match is today, I want to watch it too. Ding! Lu Liangyin's wish list has been updated. 1. I want to watch the boxing match. I want to watch it. 2. I want to become friends with Wu, he won't reject me, right? 3. It's annoying having a third wheel around, and I'm thinking of finding a chance to thank Wu Xiang. Coincidentally, it turns out that two people have the same desires. Of course, Wu Shuang doesn't want to miss this kind of good thing, but he is very curious as to why a girl would be interested in boxing matches. It's like this, my father is a senior sports fan, and he likes to watch all kinds of sports, so I grew up being influenced by him. Lu Liangyin quickly dispelled Wu Shuang's doubts. Not only has she been influenced by her surroundings, she has also excelled, going straight to the College of Physical Education at university. She is deeply involved in various sports and is truly an extraordinary woman among women. Shuangga. At this point, Wang Meng suddenly became angry and pulled Wu Shuang aside. Shuangga, you're not going to give the tickets to that woman, are you? That's not allowed. Damn, am I such a petty person? Wu Shuang patted his chest, it's just tickets, buy 2 more. Are you kidding me? I'm a man with an 8 million renminbi net worth now. I can arrange it. The reason this celebrity boxing match is attracting so much attention is because of the identity of the contestants. One is a rising star in the domestic boxing world named Li Shulong, who is handsome and also a second-generation rich man. He is very popular on the internet and has millions of avid female fans. The other is a well-known domestic boxing champion who will retire at the end of this year, and this may be his last dance. The venue was packed with people and was extremely lively. In particular, the female fans of the internet celebrity boxer Li Shulong were noisy with all kinds of screams, completely suppressing the die-hard fans of the old boxing king. With tickets obtained from scalpers at a high price, Wu Shuang and the other two sat in the VLLP area. Here, they were just a stone's throw from the ring, and they could even see the blue veins on the boxers' foreheads. By the way, who are you supporting? As an amateur, Wu Shuang was not interested in the boxing match at all. But since they were here, they had to cheer for one of the fighters. Lu Liangyin said that she supported the old boxing champion. Because she had watched many of the old boxing champion's matches, she hoped that the old boxing champion's career would come to a perfect end. She also said that Li Shulong is a bit unprofessional. He often broadcasts live and interacts with female fans. This won't lead to great achievements. Wang Meng said that he supported the internet celebrity boxer. The reason is simple: Li Shulong is younger and has a brighter future. He continued, the young waves behind the Yangtze River push the waves in front of them. Our boxing world needs young people. After hearing this, Wu Shuang nodded, but before he could say anything, ding! The match is about to begin. Double desires were satisfied, and double rewards followed. Congratulations to the host for receiving a reward, skill points x2. Congratulations to the host for receiving a reward, skill points x2. Successfully used skill points, congratulations to the host, agility +4. Hint, since the host's agility attribute value has exceeded 30, please choose the subsequent enhancement effect. Effect 1, enhances active flexibility, allowing you to attack like a snake. Effect 2, enhances passive reaction, allowing you to dodge like a loach. Wu Shuang pondered for a while and decided to enhance passive reaction. After all, he was not a professional fighter, and messing with those offensive enhancements could easily get someone killed. Dang dang dang. The sexy bikini-clad ring girl stepped into the ring, and the first round began. Li Shulong threw a flirtatious wink at the audience, which immediately attracted wild screams. Then he provocatively hooked his index finger at the old boxing champion. Come on, old man. The old boxing champion did not reply, bracing himself for a defensive battle. 2 minutes later, the first round ended. A draw. Facing Li Shulong's wild attacks, the old boxing champion defended himself flawlessly. What? All you know how to do is hide. It's no fun. Trash is trash, and in front of my pigeon, it can only take a beating. Die, old thing. The female fans yelled in unison. After all, they came to see people, not a competition. Ding. The second round quickly began. After being attacked with obscene language, the old boxing champion seemed to have a bit of a broken defense. He accidentally revealed a flaw, and Li Shulong seized the opportunity. With a series of domineering combinations, he won the round. Ah, my pigeon is so cool. That old thing was the boxing champion, but he was beaten to a pulp by my pigeon. My pigeon is invincible. Pigeon, kill him in the next round. Amidst the cheers, Li Shulong opened his arms wide, thinking about interacting with his fans. As he looked around, he suddenly became attracted to Lu Liangyin in the audience. She was exquisite. Her appearance was out of this world, and her figure was unbelievable. Li Shulong was dazzled. He couldn't believe he had such an amazing female fan. Li Shulong was in a state of shock when suddenly a large hand blocked Lu Liangyin's face. It was Wu Shuang sticking out her middle finger. Play well, you son of a bitch. Chapter 18. It was him, the black guy. You son of a bitch. Li Shulong was furious that someone in the audience had dared to abuse him. But just then, the short break was over. Dang. Next round begins. Li Shulong vented all his anger on his opponent. The stormy onslaught drove the old boxing champion back, and he was trembling with fear and about to fall. Is that enough? The old boxing champion whispered. He was a bit anxious. This was only an exhibition match, and Li Shulong had even brought in the sponsor. The script had been set long ago. After a fierce battle, Li Shulong would finally defeat the old boxing king, become the focus of public opinion, and become an internet sensation. But now, Li Shulong was going a bit too far. Such a fierce onslaught was deadly. The old boxing king just wanted to retire with a small sum of money, and he didn't want to be seriously injured. What do you mean almost? I haven't had enough yet. Li Shulong had gone crazy. Disregarding the previous agreement, he continued to charge at the old boxing champion. Ah, Gugu is so fierce. Kill the old bastard. Kill him quickly. The boxing world's #1 will be born soon. From all directions, there was the howling of female fans. Seeing that he had been driven into a corner, the old boxing champion really couldn't take it anymore. Looking at Li Shulong, who was unprotected and just blindly attacking, he easily delivered a counterattack. Li Shulong was hit and fell to his knees. The screams of the female fans suddenly stopped, their faces full of shock and disbelief. There was silence, but it only lasted a few seconds. How dare you attack my pigeon? Sneak attack. Shameless old man. Disgusting. Why doesn't he just die? The female fans' curses and insults continued until a sudden sound broke out. Good punch, Wu Shuang stood up and shouted with raised arms, hurry up, beat him to death now. After these words, the old boxing champion on the stage really launched an attack. A few punches sent Li Shulong, who had just climbed to his feet, back to his knees. 1. 2. The confused referee hurriedly stepped forward and began counting down. Slow. In the ring, Li Shulong's mouth was bleeding, his eyes a little dazed, and he was obviously badly beaten. He stood up with difficulty and said to the old boxing king angrily, I'll give you one last chance. The old boxing king gasped for breath, his face showing both anger and helplessness. This time, he cooperated with the performance and could get a full 800,000 entry fee. Boxing is an unpopular sport in China, and you can't earn much money by boxing for a lifetime. 800,000 yuan, enough to put a down payment on a house in a good school district and never have to worry about being dumped by my wife again. I get it, said the old boxing champion, his angry eyes fading instantly. He continued with the same offensive moves as before, but the force of his blows was clearly reduced. This gave Li Shulong a chance to catch his breath, and he continued to block and defend until he noticed that the old boxing champion was running out of energy. Seizing the opportunity, he quickly threw a swing. The old boxing champion was caught off guard and his body involuntarily fell backwards. He fell heavily to the floor and was unable to get up again. My pigeon has won. Although he was attacked by a shameless opponent, my pigeon still won easily. Li Shulong, boxing champion. Li Shulong, boxing champion. The scene immediately boiled over, and the female fans in the back row rushed forward recklessly, trying to climb onto the ring to take a photo with their idol. No way, is this it? Wu Shuang spread her arms wide. Even an amateur like me can tell that it was just a show. Was there even a hint of skill? Who are you calling a showman? One fan turned around and asked angrily when she heard this. Who else? Your pigeon, of course. Good, you'll have to take responsibility for what you say. Tell your pigeon to sue me. Wu Shuang didn't bother with the brainless fan and just walked out. Once he was out the door, Wang Meng claimed to have to go back to school because of something urgent. Student Wu, how much is the ticket? I'll transfer you the money. Lu Liangyin asked, opening her phone. Wu Shuang waved his hand, no need, we're friends, why be so polite? Friends? Really? Lu Liangyin was a little excited. This was great. Before, she had deliberately snubbed Wu Shuang, thinking that he was up to no good. But not only had he not pursued her, he had even saved her life. Out of deep guilt, Lu Liangyin really wanted to make amends. But she couldn't bring herself to do so. After all, she was the cold goddess, used to being cold to others. Congratulations, host, you have received a reward, 2 attribute points. Use of attribute points successful, congratulations, host, spirit +2. After fulfilling Lu Liangyin's second wish, it was also time to eat. Wu Shuang decided to have a quick meal nearby, and casually found a restaurant that looked good and entered to take a seat. Without the presence of the electric light bulb that was Wang Meng, Lu Liangyin relaxed a lot and after a little thought, she spoke. Student Wu, I haven't thanked you for the last time, and please let me pay for the hospital expenses. Okay, it's 88,000 yuan in total. That's so expensive? Lu Liangyin was a little dumbfounded, but the words had already been spoken, so she had to grit her teeth and say, please send me your bank card number. This is the place. Waiter, I'll take the rest of the seats. Suddenly there was a loud noise, and a large group of people appeared at the entrance to the restaurant. At the head of the group was Li Shulong, who had just won the boxing match. The guy still had a bruise on his face, but it didn't affect his arrogant and haughty look at all. He was accompanied by members of his team, and behind him was a large group of fanatical female fans. With a casual glance, he happened to see a familiar face. It was her. Seeing Lu Liangyin again, Li Shulong felt like he was in the boxing ring, and launched an immediate attack. Hi. He walked straight up to Lu Liangyin, greeted her in his usual manner, and winked at the same time. This was Li Shulong's usual routine with women, simple, direct, and highly effective. However, this time, Li Shulong hit a wall. Get lost. Wu Shuang turned her head and gave him a warning glance. It's you. Li Shulong was furious when he saw him. Wasn't this the guy who had given him the finger? It's him. A female fan with freckles came rushing angrily, pointing at Wu Shuang and yelling, it's him. He kept cheering for the old guy and said that you were fighting with fake punches. Me fighting with fake punches? Are you kidding me? Li Shulong first hurriedly retorted, then placed one hand on Wu Shuang's shoulder. Kid, it seems like you're quite capable of getting yourself killed. Ha, he's scared. Sure enough, any man who sees my pigeon will feel inferior. Ha, still fighting a fake fight? What's my pigeon's record? Does it need to be like this? Don't let this black guy get away. Sue him for defamation. The female fans swarmed over Wu Shuang, attempting to drown him in their spittle. Ladies, I have a basis for saying that he is boxing with his hands tied. Facing the passionate crowd, Wu Shuang spoke up. His gaze locked on Li Shulong and he said slowly, because he is not strong, he paid off his opponent. Not to mention the old boxing champion, even I, as a layman, can easily beat him. You're full of shit. As soon as these words were spoken, the female fans exploded. Chapter 19, This is what I call violent output. Ha 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 ha, you're killing me. How can someone like this comment on Go and easily beat him? Put. Do you know what Good GE's level is? He hasn't lost a single fight in his career. Oh my, I realize now that he won't understand if I tell him, this person is completely shameless. Enough. Li Shulong pressed his palm, and the fans immediately shut up. Then he kept eyeing Wu Shuang with a sneer, kid, you're a bit too much. And the person who was most shocked was Lu Liangyin. Classmate Wu is crazy. Admittedly, there was something fishy about this boxing match, and it was very likely rigged. But Li Shulong was a serious boxer, professionally trained and actually having competed in matches. In contrast, Wu Shuang, although in top physical condition, was after all purely amateur. In competitive sports, there is a world of difference between professional and amateur. Ding! Lu Liangyin's wish list has been updated. 1. Classmate Wu, you must not get into trouble. 2. No, we have to find a way to call the police. Once the police arrive, I don't think they will fight anymore. 3. These female fans really deserve to die. They just know how to fan the flames. I really want them to all go away. The situation was already tense. Facing the uncontrollable anger of Li Shulong and the others, Wu Shuang spoke again. You want to die, right? Come on, hit me, hit me. Li Shulong had never heard of such a request before. He had always been the one to provoke people and force them to act. You little brat, you're not trying to scam people, are you? Damn, there are so many people watching, Wu Shuang pointed at the female fan who was holding her phone camera. I would like to scam you, but the conditions don't allow it. Come on, hit me. Hoo-ah. This time, Li Shulong didn't say a word and punched directly. However, Wu Shuang lightly leaned back and actually avoided it. As a professional boxer, his punching speed is not the fastest, but it is far faster than the average person. But this time, Wu Shuang dodged again. Ha ha. Leaning back in his seat, Wu Shuang took a sip of coffee and smacked his lips. You're useless when you're given a chance, so get lost. Damn it, I'm going to beat the crap out of you today. Li Shulong's eyes were bloodshot. To lose face in front of his fans was more unbearable than death. Okay, since you insist, let's make a bet, Wu Shuang said loudly. I'll give you 5 minutes to hit me, but if you can't land a single punch, then you'll have to kneel down and apologize. Ha 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 ha. Li Shulong's tears of laughter came out. After the 3 punches just now, he already understood that Wu Shuang was capable. It was precisely because he was worried that he couldn't quickly finish him off that now, it was fine, 5 minutes, 1 minute would be enough. Good guy, 100% evasion. A passerby exclaimed in awe. That's sick, I don't think physical attacks will work, I need to use magic attacks. Another passerby analyzed. Li Shulong heard this and, seeing that he was about to lose face, simply decided to go all the way and did it. He picked up the teapot next to him and poured boiling hot tea over Wu Shuang. Shit. Facing the despicable magical attack, Wu Shuang jumped up lightning fast, his muscles bulging instantly. His huge fist, carrying tremendous force, smashed through the tea in midair and slammed hard into Li Shulong. Bang! The punch was so terrifying that it actually shattered the tea, which scattered like flowers in the air and landed on the female fans, burning them and causing them to scream. As for Li Shulong, walked across the hall and collapsed in a private room. Did I see that right? Critical strike. 10x critical strike. Wow, that's DPS, that's violent output. Everyone in the restaurant was dumbfounded. Only the two passers-by before were intensely discussing it. Well, not bad. Wu Shuang strode into the private room and looked at Li Shulong, who was trying to get up and kneeling on the ground. It's just that the kneeling position is a bit off, but never mind, I still want to eat, and looking at you one more time will ruin my appetite. Puff. This sneer became the last straw that broke Li Shulong's back. He hunched over, and blood sprayed from his mouth. It's over. The carefully cultivated persona has been completely ruined. Soon, order was restored in the restaurant. Li Shulong and the others fled in disgrace, while the female fans scattered like birds and beasts. As for the rest, all eyes were focused on Wu Shuang. Congratulations to the host for receiving the reward, attribute points x4. Congratulations to the host for receiving the reward, attribute points x3. Successfully used attribute points, congratulations to the host, physical fitness +7. Hint, as the host's physical attribute value has exceeded 30, please choose the subsequent enhancement effect. Effect 1, enhance metabolism and prolong life. Effect 2, wash the marrow and cut the bones, and it will not break. Aren't they more or less the same? Wu Shuang was confused after being rewarded for fulfilling 2 wishes. Hint, the options are only the current focus. As the value increases, all enhancements will be improved, so the host does not need to be too entangled. Why didn't you say so earlier? After receiving the prompt, Wu Shuang decisively chose effect 2. Immediately afterwards, he shuddered, and all his limbs began to go crazy with electricity. The unprecedented pleasure made him roll his eyes uncontrollably. Wu, what's wrong? Lu Liangyin took a long time to recover from the shock. Seeing Wu Shuang's lewd expression, she subconsciously covered her chest. Stop it, Wu, I have a question for you, what the hell? Ahem, I know what you want to ask, Wu Shuang replied while feeling comfortable all over. Today is the first time I've watched boxing, let alone practiced it. If you really want to figure it out, I can only say it's talent. Talent. Lu Liangyin repeated these 2 words over and over again. What kind of talent is it that can span the huge gap between amateur and professional? Ding. Lu Liangyin's list of desires has been updated. 1. I really want to see just how abnormal his talent is. 2. Wait, did the boiling water just now not burn him? I hope he's okay. 3. Oh yeah, I still haven't paid him the hospital bill. Damn, if I pay him, I'll go bankrupt. What should I do? Right, the burn. Wu Shuang only remembered this after reading the talent. Although he had just blown a lot of boiling water away, he was still splashed, and the pain was unbearable. He hurriedly looked at his arm, and he saw that the blister, which was still there a moment ago, was collapsing, healing, and recovering at an alarming rate. Congratulations to the host for receiving a reward, Pop Card. Pop Card, every time you receive applause, you will receive a 100 yuan reward for 6 hours. Ah, this. Chapter 20, Newton's coffin lid can't hold it back anymore. Beijiang City Sports Institute. It is a top-ranked higher education institution for sports in the country, having trained a large number of elites in the sports industry, including many retired professional athletes. In the evening, Wu Shuang and Lu Liangyin walked together into the school gates. When they arrived at the multi-purpose sports center, they looked around and saw strong bodies and athletic figures everywhere. Student Wu, are you sure you want to show off your skills at our school? Lu Liangyin's tone was mixed, containing excitement, anticipation and doubt. Yes, although Wu Shuang's previous brutal beating of Li Shulong had a great impact on Lu Liangyin's heart. There was also little doubt about Wu Shuang's talent. But now the 2 of them were in the sports institute. It's just that my hands are itching and I want to find someone to play with. Wu Shuang dropped these words and walked towards the nearest basketball court. Originally, he didn't know many sports, only basketball, football and table tennis, at a beginner's level. But now, with the help of the level 10 comprehensive sports, the water bottle is unrecognizable. It's a whole new ballgame. On the basketball court, a peak showdown is taking place. The crowd is packed in 3 layers, and the atmosphere is lively. They are all players in the Cub College Basketball League, and a few of them are about to play professionally. Liu Yuxi introduced, in the future, I'm afraid we'll only be able to see them on TV. By the way, Wu, what do you want? Excuse me. Wu Shuang pushed his way through the crowd and walked straight to the sidelines. He said to a big, black guy with his hands on his knees, panting heavily, brother, you must be tired. Why don't I go in for you? Who are you? I'm from another school. I came here especially to help you win. You? Win the game? The big black guy suddenly laughed, don't mess around, this is a high-end father-son match, not something you can get involved in at your level. Big Blackie. At this point, Liu Yuxi also squeezed in, pointed at Wu Shuang, and said to the big black guy, Big Blackie, he's my friend, just let him go up and experience it. Goddess? As soon as Liu Yuxi appeared, the big black man was so excited that he couldn't help himself. It's the goddess Yu, your friend, of course. I'll arrange it right away. Then, he hugged his thick black thighs and shouted to his teammates, I can't do it anymore, my old injury has flared up, I can't play, let my friend go up. So, amidst a sea of astonished looks, Wu Shuang made his domineering entrance. You! What are you doing? Go get the rebound. Ha! Wu Shuang realized that the big black guy was the center. He hurriedly ran to the bottom of the backboard and stood in the jungle of muscles. The strong smell of sweat almost made him pass out. Bang! Just as Wu Shuang was adapting, the other team stole the rebound. The ball was quickly passed to the outside, and it came into the hands of a handsome man with long hair. Senior. 3-point king. Awesome. It was obvious that the long-haired man was the most popular player on the court. Amidst the commotion, he looked calm, raised his long arms high, and jumped up in place, making a dashing shooting motion. Whoosh! Pang! A dark shadow suddenly covered the long-haired man's vision. A supersized cap. It was Wu Shuang, who exploded with amazing jumping ability, towering over the long-haired man by half a head. Holy cow! Awesome! Ping 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 ping. For boys, there are only 2 things worth applauding. Love. Strength. And for the defensive aspect of basketball, the most exhilarating thing is a block. Ding, congratulations, the host has received 182 applauses and a reward of 18,200 yuan. The real money has arrived, and Wu Shuang's emotions instantly soared. He sprinted with all his might, charging into the opponent's restricted area at lightning speed. Clang! Luckily, his teammate missed the shot, and the ball smashed against the basket, bouncing high in the air. Offensive rebound. Everyone immediately looked up, observing the trajectory of the basketball as it fell, while engaging in fierce physical confrontation in an attempt to occupy a good position. However, it was all in vain. Facing the double team, Wu Shuang gave a strong shake. He easily pushed everyone away, then jumped up in place. He grabbed the basketball at the highest point, adjusted his body's center of gravity while in the air, and his body slid down in a parabolic arc. Aiming at the basket. Boom! A super slam dunk. I defy gravity. Newton's coffin board can't hold it anymore. Damn, that was so amazing, I can't take it anymore. Wu Shuang's slam dunk was so shocking that many people in the crowd were so excited that they started talking nonsense. And on the court, all the players were stunned together. This. Clap, 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 clap. The thunderous applause woke them up. What are you doing, clapping? That's all there is to it. Clap, clap, clap. A historic scene took place on the basketball court of the Sports Institute. Clapping the opponent after being scored on? This is a father and son match, and if you lose, you have to call dad. Keep an eye on that guy. The applause finally stopped and the game continued. The opponent now realized Wu Shuang's abnormality and arranged for someone to guard him closely. The game started with a jump ball. Wu Shuang takes a lightning-fast lunge and steals the opponent's pass. What the hell? The guy who got robbed is about to say it's not my fault, that guy is just too fast, it's like he can teleport. In the middle of the circle, Wu Shuang actually jumps straight up. Whoosh! A long-range three-pointer. Again? Aha! The whole stadium was in a complete frenzy. Screams, shouts and applause were raining down on Wu Shuang like crazy. Lu Liangyin was the most excited of all, jumping and swaying around. This was a great opportunity to watch the game, but no one chose to do that. All eyes were focused on Wu Shuang's face, cheering and going crazy for him. What happened next can be described as inhuman. A landslide victory. As a substitute who came on in the second half of the game, Wu Shuang single-handedly completed the comeback and then beat them even more. He received countless rounds of applause. Goddess, is your friend on the national team? How come I've never seen him before? The dark, hulking man asked, impressed. She is indeed a cold goddess, with high standards for her partner, so there's no chance for ordinary people. Him? Yes. Lu Liangyin was hesitating how to introduce Wu Shuang when she noticed the crowd starting to agitate. He's gone to the football stadium. He's going to watch football? Let's go and watch. Thousands of people followed Wu Shuang to the football stadium. Before long, they were once again impressed. Without any build-up, Wu Shuang went straight for the jugular when he took to the field. The ball seemed to be glued to his feet as he performed all kinds of feats, including accelerating and changing direction to overtake, juggling like a bull, rainbow overtake, world wave, and backflip against the odds. As the football field was big enough, the crowd that came to watch and applaud was even bigger. Classmate Wu. Lu Liangyin looked at the dazzling Wu Shuang on the field, and again, he patted his red and hot palms. Chapter 21, Bringing a Girl to Defun. Ding, congratulations to the host for receiving 828 applauses and receiving a reward of 82,800 yuan. Ding, congratulations to the host for receiving 1,410 applauses and receiving a reward of 141,000 yuan. Ding, congratulations to the host for receiving 6,246 applauses and receiving a reward of 624,600 yuan. After the football, there was table tennis, badminton, and even billiards. Without exception, Wu Shuang showed extraordinary skill, even defeating several retired national-level athletes. The audience grew larger and larger, and they could be said to have turned out in full force, slapping their hands until they were sore. At the end, Wu Shuang opened the bank app and took a look. 35 million. Super rich. If it weren't for the time, he would have wanted to play all the sports. It was close to lights out time, but the Sports Institute was still wide awake. Everyone was in a state of excitement, discussing one question. Who is Wu Shuang? No one had seen him before, and there was no information about him online. Some people tried to ask him face to face, but he just laughed at them. He made a spectacular entrance and left without a trace. Outside the school gate, in the small forest, Lu Liangyin stood dumbfounded in front of Wu Shuang, clearing her throat, which had gone hoarse long ago. Wu, don't you ever want to pursue a career in sports? Ha, I told you, it's just a little hobby. But you have such a perverted talent. Congratulations, you have received a reward, 3 attribute points. Successfully used attribute points, congratulations, plus 3 spirit. Okay, it's getting late, don't think about it anymore. After showing Lu Liangyin her perverted talent, Wu Shuang set about fulfilling her other desire. Paying the hospital bill in one go must be a lot of pressure. How about paying it to me in 6 monthly installments? Really? Lu Liangyin was delighted. Great, then it's settled. You don't have to pay it in 6 months, just 3 months will do. But despite his happiness, a little bit of dissatisfaction rose in his heart. Money was not the main reason, the key was the attitude. Standing in the woods with someone late at night, and he's thinking about paying back the money? Oh, right, take this. At that moment, Wu Shuang took out a card from his pocket, slipped it into Lu Liangyin's hand, and said, if you want, you can go swimming anytime, don't worry, I won't bother you again. This. Lu Liangyin wanted to say something, but Wu Shuang turned around and walked away, not looking back. The next day, the Stars Garden Hotel. The door to the executive suite opened with a ding and Lu Liangyin stuck her head into the room, only to find it quiet. Today she had dressed up, with her trademark high ponytail, black and shiny, and just the right amount of makeup on her pretty face, looking exceptionally bright and charming. She was wearing a uniform-style dress, exquisitely cut, which perfectly accentuated her incredibly hot body. Below the hem of the dress were a pair of white calf-length socks and platform Mary Janes. Sigh. Lu Liangyin was obviously disappointed to see that there was no one inside. She put down her bag and sat on the sofa, taking out a tissue to wipe the sweat from her forehead. Let's make out. Suddenly, a rough voice sounded, startling Lu Liangyin. Upon closer inspection, Wu Xuan was lying on the bed in the room, holding his phone and playing games. Lu Liangyin said in shock, "Why are you here? Didn't you say so I should go?" Wu Xuan didn't even look up from the screen of his phone, which he was tapping furiously. Ding! Lu Liangyin's bucket list has been updated. 1. I was just asking, Wu, don't go, please. 2. What game are you playing? Look up and see me. 3. Damn, it's getting dark outside, I hope it doesn't rain, I want to go swimming with Wu. Ouch, it looks like it's going to pour, I can't go. Wu Xuan finally finished playing a game, and first looked out the window. Then he turned his head and surveyed Lu Liangyin for several seconds. What are you wearing? What's wrong? It's absolutely beautiful. It's not like I'm showing it to you on purpose. Lu Liangyin pretended to be unconcerned, but inside she was overjoyed. I knew this would get to him. Congratulations, you have received a reward, skill points x1. Congratulations, you have received a reward, skill points x1. Wu Shuang also pretended to be unconcerned, but inside he was overjoyed. This desire was so easy to satisfy. After all, it was mainly thanks to the level 10 flirtatiousness. His instinct was to play hard to get, and he had the cold goddess Lu Liangyin firmly in his grasp, with the mood getting so ambiguous that it was about to overflow. Ugh, how long is this rain going to last? Lu Liangyin pretended to look at the weather outside the window, and leaned close to Wu Shuang. Hey, you play this too, classmate Wu? No, this game is so popular, why shouldn't I play it? What I mean is, with your talent, shouldn't you be doing something more meaningful? I think playing games is very meaningful. It can relieve stress and also make you feel happy. Wu Shuang explained seriously, while Lu Liangyin nodded frequently, her beautiful eyes sparkling. Ding! Lu Liangyin's list of desires has been updated. 1. Cheer up. I was so frustrated last night when I didn't win. I really want to win back. 2. Classmate Wu, if you know how to talk, then talk more. It's boring on a rainy day, and it's embarrassing for two people to be in the same room. 3. I really want to get closer to him. After learning about her latest desires, Wu Shuang decisively patted the soft bed. Come here and get on your stomach. Lu Liangyin was momentarily confused. No way, are we going to? Where are you thinking? It's raining, so there's no way we can go swimming. Here, I'll take you to the next level. Really? Are you sure? I'm a bit of a wimp. Lu Liangyin wasn't lying. She was no ordinary wimp. It was common for her to be verbally abused by her teammates, and every time she would respond defiantly, so angry she wanted to throw her phone. It's okay if you're not good at it, as long as you follow orders. I promise to bring you to the top. Wu Shuang said this and drove her consciousness, using up all the skill points she had accumulated over the past few times. Successfully used skill points, congratulations host, gain +4. In this way, the game level reached 9. Lu Liangyin obediently lay down on the bed, next to Wu Shuang, and opened the mobile game. Hurry up and go to the front line to level up. Hurry up and come over. Zoom in. Push the center lane with me, don't be a wimp, just do it. Look, we won. Wu Shuang's mouth never stopped, constantly issuing various commands. Lu Liangyin was like a ruthless assistant robot, carefully and meticulously following orders. The heavy rain outside the window never stopped, and it was dark. Lu Liangyin was so tired from lying on her stomach that her whole body ached. But there was no sign of displeasure on her face, because they really scored big. I won 10 games in a row. Wu is amazing, he can do anything, he can play any hero. He's so good at playing, the opponent can't beat him or even scold him. Oh, it's already night. Lu Liangyin put down her hot, dead phone and frowned. I didn't do anything all day, and I almost died from being on my hands and knees. But you won, didn't you? Wu Shuang smirked. Besides, at least you had a thick cushion to fall on, but what about me? Stop it. Lu Liangyin glared at Wu Shuang and pouted. I can't go a day without exercising, but it's raining so heavily outside, and there's no equipment in the room. I know a sport that can be done indoors without equipment. It's not only high intensity, but also very exciting. As Wu Shuang was talking, Lu Liangyin blushed all the way up to her neck. Chapter 22, It was worth it. I satisfied her so many times. Facing Lu Liangyin's strange expression, Wu Shuang didn't beat around the bush anymore. Prisoner fitness. It was invented by a prisoner. This guy was a fitness fanatic, but there were no equipment in prison. He had no choice but to figure out this fitness method, and it was a great success. I know about this, but... Lu Liangyin's heart dropped. On the one hand, she was touched that Wu Shuang didn't have evil thoughts. But on the other hand, her pride was seriously hurt. Damn it, is someone this unattractive? Congratulations, you have gained a reward, skill points x1. You have successfully used your skill points. Congratulations, you have gained a reward, attribute points x1. Congratulations, you have gained a reward, attribute points x1. You have successfully used your attribute points. Congratulations, you have gained a reward, spirit +1. So, are you interested in trying prisoner fitness with me? After adding the points, Wu Shuang spoke again. There was now only one desire left unfulfilled, to get closer to Lu Liangyin. Wu Shuang was a little unprepared for this one. No interest. Lu Liangyin decisively refused. There are obviously equipment in the hotel, I'll go after dinner. Desires are desires, and actions are actions. Women are always like this, all kinds of entangled and unpredictable. Wu Shuang didn't care about this, the worst that could happen was to take things slowly. But little did he know that a sense of crisis would soon arise. Brother Shuang, it's not good. It was rare for Wu Shuang to come back to the boys' dormitory, but he had brought his brothers there to play a game. They were in the middle of a heated game when Wang Mang, who was responsible for getting takeout, rushed back in a panic. Brother Shuang, something happened to sister-in-law number 2. What do you mean sister-in-law number 2? She's that young lady with a great figure, the one we went to the boxing match with. Oh, you mean her? What happened? Someone was courting her at the school gate. It was that pretentious guy Li Shulong. What the fuck? Wu Shuang put down his phone and said incredulously, that guy didn't get the message, and he still dares to come here and get himself killed? Brother Shuang, he doesn't know you're a student here, Wang Meng said anxiously. Oh, what's the point of talking about this when there's no time? Go over there and take a look, that guy's making a lot of noise. No. Wu Shuang shook his head decisively. First, she's not some second wife. Second, even if she wanted to, I'd have to see her attitude. My requirements for a woman are that she must be willing and devoted. Let's just consider this a test. Awesome. His teammates gave him a thumbs up, so awesome. Wang Baijishi, lit. Wang's overbearing aura leaks to the side, this is how a man should be. Then I'll go get the takeaway. Wang Mang left the dormitory again and went to the school gate, his gaze directed at the direction of the neighboring sports institute. No, I have to help Brother Shuang. With a gritted tooth and a stomp, Wang Mang left the takeaway alone and ran. There was a huge crowd in front of the sports institute. A bright yellow Ferrari was parked on the side of the road, covered with roses and boxes of various luxury brands. Li Shulong was dressed in a shirt and Western-style trousers, looking handsome and imposing, with a charming and extraordinary appearance. Lu, I sincerely invite you to lunch. After extending the invitation, Li Shulong pointed back at the Ferrari and said, look, these gifts are all for you. Of course, and that's not all. He once again fixed his gaze on Lu Liangyin and said in a single sentence, my heart has long since belonged to you. Wow, that's so cheesy. A boy in the crowd said. What's cheesy about it? I think it's full of sincerity. A girl retorted immediately. Exactly, it's corny to profess your love in public, but it's still very touching. Come on, last time Daiko professed his love to Lu Liangyin in public, you didn't say that. You resented him for not knowing his own self-worth. How can that be the same? Daiko professed his love with empty hands, but this handsome guy came fully loaded. Gee, Ferrari is so cool. To be honest, it's all about the money. The arguments in the crowd were transmitted to Li Shulong's ears without a single word missing. This made him feel a little smug. Money. It can break down the defenses of all women. What's more, he's not just rich, he's also good-looking. Ever since that amazing glimpse on the boxing ring that day, Li Shulong has been deeply attracted to Lu Liangyin. Not to mention the fact that he was publicly defeated by Wu Shuang. The perfect way to settle a blood feud is to steal his girlfriend and frame him. It's just a lunch date, what are you hesitating about? Just say yes. It's fine if he's usually aloof, but please, this guy is super rich. If I could get a Ferrari, I wouldn't mind going on a lunch date with him, let alone having sex with him. There were quite a few girls in the crowd who had already been bribed with large sums of money in advance. The mood was already set. The pressure was now on Lu Liangyin's side. Under countless pairs of staring eyes, she opened her red lips. Get lost. Everyone, including Li Shulong, simply couldn't believe it. You, say that again? Get lost, you think you can woo me? Go home and dream about it. Lu Liangyin's attitude was extremely rude and unreasonable. This was entirely because of Wu Shuang. He was just too outstanding, with not a single flaw, and he comprehensively and without fail beat up the pretentious and pompous Li Shulong. Due to the huge gap, Lu Liangyin treated Li Shulong with utter disdain. What are you all looking at? You can be snobbish and worship money, but don't bring that filth to me. When the goddess let loose, the girls immediately backed off. They dared not add to the commotion, and after stupidly watching Lu Liangyin leave in style, they found Li Shulong. Brother Long, the final payment. Final my ass. Li Shulong was experiencing a great humiliation, and he was so angry that his face turned pale and he was shaking. He threw the gifts from the Ferrari onto the ground indiscriminately. Amid the girls clamoring, he drove off at high speed. Damn, I told you she's not your sister-in-law, she's already Brother Shuang's woman for sure. Wang Meng, who had witnessed the whole thing, hurriedly turned around and ran. Back in the dormitory, Wu Shuang was still leading his teammates in scoring points, fully concentrated and focused, as if nothing had happened. Brother Shuang, rejected. Oh. Brother Shuang, you have no idea what it was like. Sister-in-law really didn't give face. Well, the test is passed, it was worth it to satisfy her so many times. Upon hearing this, Wang Meng immediately wanted to worship. He had indeed already won her over, and many times at that. She was the #1 goddess of the sports institute next door, and she was no less attractive than Liu Yuxi. It could be said that Brother Shuang had been reborn and had become a god of men. Hey! At this, Wu Shuang gave Wang Meng a hard kick. Where's the takeaway? We've worked hard to get points and we're damn near starving, and you've come back empty-handed? Oh, I forgot. Forget it, let's go out and eat. After that, let's go to a foot massage parlor and relax. Brother Shuang is awesome. Chapter 23, we need to confirm our relationship. While some people are happy, others are depressed. While Wu Shuang was eating and drinking with his brothers and indulging in pleasure, Li Shulong was sitting in his Ferrari, seething with anger. Damn it! Lu Liangyin, you dare to be so disrespectful, then don't blame me for being underhanded. After a rant, Li Shulong picked up his phone and dialed a number. In the softest voice, he said, "Hello, Mom, it's like this, I recently..." A few days passed, and Wu Shuang had a very fulfilling life. In the morning, he went swimming with Lu Liangyin and took care of some of her minor desires. In the afternoon, he rushed to school to satisfy his brother's desire to score points. In the evening, of course, it was Liu Yuxi's desire to learn. Name, Wu Shuang. Assets, 41,123,527 yuan. Attributes, Strength 31, Agility 31, Spirit 29, Constitution 32. Skills, Foreign Languages 10, Driving 10, First Aid 10, Gaming 10, Flirting 10, Ancestral Craft 8, Staff Combat 10, Fighting 10, Sports 10. Items, none. Entry, 8-cylinder diamond kidney. That day, Wu Shuang left home early. He went to a nearby high-end tea house and had a nice breakfast. Then he drove his beloved car to the hotel parking lot. The security guard immediately bowed and said, "Sir, you're here so early today? It's a nice day." Wu Shuang pointed at the blue sky. "The sun is too strong at noon, so I came early." "Oh, I see." After watching Wu Shuang leave, the security guard took off his hat and scratched his hair. It's already strange enough to be in a room with a beautiful woman every morning, but what does that have to do with the sun being strong? Could it be that they're playing? Ahem. Just then, Lu Liangyin also arrived early, which was unheard of. But unlike Wu Shuang, she was clearly in a bad mood. Her pretty face was dull and lifeless, with heavy dark circles under her eyes. She was also dressed very casually. Not only was she not wearing Wu Shuang's favorite white calf socks, she didn't even bring her bag. Student Wu. In the hotel lobby, Lu Liangyin stopped Wu Shuang, who was about to get into the elevator. Hey, you're here early too? Wait, look at your state. Ding. Lu Liangyin's list of desires has been updated. 1. Shamelessly Shulong actually set his sights on my family's business. I really want to drive him to the brink of collapse. 2. We must not let the conspiracy succeed. 3. I really want to take our relationship with Wu Shuang to the next level, because he's the only one who can keep my parents quiet. Wu Shuang looked at Lu Liangyin's list of desires and thought, boy, it's full of negative energy. And the problems in it are really a bit difficult to deal with. Lu Liangyin was born into a well-off family that ran a factory, a small factory in the city that made jewelry. Anyone who has run a factory knows that when the quality and productivity of the products go up, the only thing that needs to be worried about is the market. Luckily for the Lu family, they had found a strong ally in the Li Shengsheng Group, a large group based in the city that specialized in foreign trade and was extremely powerful. After becoming partners with the Li Shengsheng Group, the Lu family only needed to produce well and strictly control the quality to make money lying down. But then the damn thing happened. Li Shulong was actually the only son of the chairman of the Li Shengsheng Group. After being tragically rejected by Lu Liangyin, this guy completely tore off his disguise. Using his status as the heir apparent of the Li Shengsheng Group, he ordered people to directly pressure the Lu family. Either they marry off their daughter, or the partnership is terminated. To the Li Shengsheng Group, small suppliers like my family are not important at all, and there is almost no loss if the partnership is cancelled. From the seat in the corner of the lobby, Lu Liangyin stared with reddened eyes as she told Wu Shuang everything. My parents are both beside themselves with worry. In order to preserve the family business, they gave me 3 days to think it over. Isn't this selling your daughter? Wu Shuang clenched her fists and said indignantly. I also have a younger brother. Lu Liangyin sighed, my family has always valued boys over girls. As long as it can benefit my younger brother, what's the harm in sacrificing my daughter? My mother has already said that I will marry someone sooner or later, and marrying Li Xingxing's prince is a great thing. Student Wu, can you help me come up with a plan? At this point, I definitely have to help. Although I have no idea what to do, I am determined to help you, Wu Shuang said firmly. But I have a request. What is it? It's very simple. Wu Shuang suddenly took Lu Liangyin's hand. We need to confirm our relationship, otherwise it will be inconvenient for many things. You. Everything came so suddenly that Lu Liangyin was a little panicked. But then she thought, haven't I been waiting for this moment? I'm currently in prison, and Wu Shuang not only doesn't avoid me, but instead makes this request. Doesn't that make it even more precious? Wu Shuang brother. Lu Liangyin tightly grasped Wu Shuang's hand, and a sense of security instantly grew in her heart. Shuang brother, how are you going to help me? Congratulations, you have obtained the item, Pop Card. Pop Card allows you to obtain 10 million data traffic every hour for 6 hours. After the relationship has been upgraded, the reward arrives immediately. This gives Wu Shuang, who is feeling worried, an idea. He stares into Lu Liangyin's eyes and says firmly, it's very simple, go to your house. The Lu family home is located in the suburbs of Beijiang City. The single-family villa is close to their factory, which makes it convenient to keep an eye on the workers. Wu Shuang and Lu Liangyin quickly arrive in their car. At this time, the Lu family is having breakfast and chatting about an extremely important topic. I hope nothing's happened to Xiaoyin, said Lu's father, worriedly, as he buried his face in his bowl of congee. Humph, you know how stubborn she is. Lu's mother snapped, breaking up a piece of fried dough and dropping it into her bowl of soya milk. She's so headstrong. She never listens to us. But I'm sure nothing's happened to her, because she knows we'll support her. You're right. Xiaoyin has always been a spendthrift. Without us, she wouldn't last long out there. Lu's father nodded and took a sip of his glass of raw egg. Dad, Mom, I think we should find a way to get my sister back. Lu Liangfeng, the younger brother, said. Mr. Yuli is running out of patience. If something really happens to my sister, our family business. Liangfeng is right. We have to be careful. Lu's mother looked at her son fondly and said, I think we should call the police and use our connections to get that stubborn brat back. No need. At that moment, the door was flung open and Lu Liangyin walked in. Facing her beloved family, she trembled all over and felt very strange. Oh, you're back? Lu's mother nodded with satisfaction. That's right, Mr. Li has everything he wants, what's not to like about marrying him? I think you should get married right after you graduate from university. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid you don't have the final say. As soon as the words left her mouth, Wu Shuang made a bold entrance. Chapter 24, 3 Small Goals in One Day. I believe you are the auntie? Hello, I am Xiaoyin's boyfriend, Wu Shuang. Boyfriend? Lu's mother was suddenly shocked, and was about to ask what was going on when Wu Shuang preempted her. Auntie, you look well maintained, but you look a bit fierce. They say appearances reflect the heart, so I'm afraid you've been thinking too much about evil things. Then Wu Shuang walked up to Lu's father and looked at the glass full of raw eggs. Uncle, you're still trying to get better? I heard from Xiaoyin that you and Auntie have been sleeping in separate beds for a long time. You're not trying to get some outside, are you? You're getting old, so you have to be careful about impotence. Finally, Wu Shuang glanced at Lu Liangfeng and grinned. This must be your younger brother. Not bad, quite energetic, but he doesn't look very smart. I came in a hurry this time and didn't bring anything, so next time I'll bring some walnuts to help you with your brain. Lu Liangyin at the door was dumbfounded. Goodness, as soon as he entered the room, he offended everyone. Lu Liangfeng, the youngest, reacted the fastest and glared at Wu Shuang. Who are you calling not smart? I'm sorry, I didn't make myself clear. Wu Shuang swept his gaze over the 3 people and said in a stern voice, what I meant was that none of you here are very smart. How dare you? You're out of line. Lu's father was so angry that he dropped his chopsticks. I don't care what your relationship with Xiaoyin is, but you're not welcome in our family. Get out. Lu's mother was even more fierce, saying, yes, get out quickly. Xiaofeng. I know, Mom. After receiving the order, Lu Liangfeng stepped forward and grabbed Wu Shuang's arm, starting to push and shove. The situation was chaotic to the extreme, which made Lu Liangyin, who was watching from the sidelines, worry greatly. What the hell, is this the solution? Wu Shuang said. God, I trusted him so much. Go back and sit down. At that moment, Wu Shuang's arm trembled slightly, knocking Lu Liangfeng directly onto the sofa. Then, Wu Shuang changed to a serious expression and said loudly, just now, I was just venting for Xiaoyin. Now is the point. May I ask you, if your factory can produce and sell its own products, the annual turnover will increase. In that case, is it true that there is no threat from the Li Shangxing group, and Xiaoyin will not be forced to marry? You're not talking nonsense. Without even thinking, Lu's father replied directly, who wants to be under someone else's roof? Which party doesn't want to become the other party? Not to mention an increase in turnover, I would be willing to have it. That's easy for you to say. Lu's mother chimed in, the cost of acquiring customers in the market is so high right now, it's difficult to do either wholesale or retail. Otherwise, would we be cooperating with Li Shangxing and making that pitiful profit? I see. Wu Shuang nodded, looking settled. Before coming over, he had already asked Lu Liangyin for the situation. The Lu family's business was far from as prosperous as it appeared. Sales were heavily reliant on the Li Shangxing group, which meant they were in a tight grip, with no bargaining power at all. The low profit was fine, but in the jewelry business, the cost of raw materials was terrifying. The Lu family invested heavily in production, and although they did not have to worry about sales, the billing cycle on the Li Shangxing group's side was more than a year. This has put the Lu family's capital chain under constant strain, to the point where they can hardly breathe. Having been poked at their sore spot, Mr. and Mrs. Lu start to sigh and even forget the dismissal they just issued. Okay, what if I were to say that I have a way to help your family solve this problem? Wu Shuang narrows his eyes and throws out the bait. The old couple say in unison, what do you have in mind? Wu Shuang said with conviction, I don't need to go into detail about how popular live streaming is right now, do I? I've seen your products, and they're all copies of other people's popular models, which are quite suitable for live streaming. You're just blowing smoke. Lu Liangfeng said dismissively, jewelry is not cheap, so how can it be sold so easily? Besides, traffic doesn't cost money. See, my phone really knows his stuff, Lu's mother chimed in, kid, don't think I can't see through you, you're just stalling. What live broadcast? You don't want Xiaoyin to get married, do you? Well, I'm telling you, forget it. If you think that a day is also a delay, then I have nothing to say. Wu Shuang shook his head, looking very sorry. A day? This time, Lu's father was not calm, and he asked curiously, tell me clearly, can you get the live broadcast up and running in a day? Dad, don't listen to him. Lu Liangfeng was anxious, something like live streaming needs a professional team, and it's not that easy to do, otherwise everyone would be rich, right? Professional team? Yes. Finally, Lu Liangyin made her personal appearance. 6 months ago, at her strong suggestion and with her parents' reluctant consent, the Lu family factory set up an e-commerce department. The investment was not large, and it was considered a trial to find a way out. There were only 7 or 8 employees and a small office in the city center. Due to her busy fitness routine, Lu Liangyin didn't have time to manage it, and the e-commerce department was almost left to its own devices. The results were dismal, and it was on the verge of being closed down. Lu Liangfeng laughed at this, saying, "Come on, sister, you've wasted hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you haven't even heard a peep. How can you say that?" "I did that because..." Lu Liangyin blushed, unable to refute, and pointed at Wu Shuang, saying, "Anyway, as long as there is a professional team, he will take care of the rest." So, the focus returned to Wu Shuang. For the Lu family, if they could set the factory on the path to independence and self-reliance, that would be a great thing. But Wu Shuang alone? The air was full of doubt. 300 million. Wu Shuang held up 3 fingers and threw out a very tempting figure. "From now on, everyone will listen to my schedule. 300 million in sales will definitely be done by tomorrow morning." "Holy shit, really?" Lu Liangfeng looked at Wu Shuang's serious expression and, for some reason, was actually a little excited. As the designated successor of the Lu family, Lu Liangfeng hoped more than anyone else that the family business could become bigger and stronger. He also understood better than anyone else that the current business model was extremely dangerous. Before dawn tomorrow? 300 million? Seriously? There is no risk in selling one order after another, you just need to keep an eye on the numbers in the background. Okay, I'll see how capable you really are. Lu Liangfeng gritted his teeth and made a decision. Lu's parents had no objections, because they didn't understand live e-commerce at all. If their precious son thought it was fine, then it was fine. Very good. Wu Shuang snapped his fingers. "I need capable people to sit in the warehouse, and quickly assign people to be in charge of packaging and shipping. Xiaoyin, is there a problem with the courier?" "No problem, it's just the price. Find a few more couriers and let them bid, just say that you want to make a big order tonight." Wu Shuang gave a series of orders in a commanding tone. After making the arrangements, he didn't even look back as he drove quickly to an office building in the city center. Here, the members of the e-commerce team recruited by Lu Liangyin were already in position. "I'll ask you one question, do you want to lose your job and leave, or do you want to stay and get a bonus?" "Get a bonus." "Very good, very spirited." Wu Shuang waved his hand. "Get ready to start broadcasting." Ding, the explosive card has been activated and started. Chapter 25, the hot guy group is ready to go. In the broadcast room, in front of the fill light, Lu Liangyin personally helped Wu Shuang apply a simple concealer makeup. The beauty filter was turned on, making the already handsome Wu Shuang even more handsome and imposing. Then he took off his shirt and put on a sexy white gym vest. His perfectly toned muscles exuded endless masculine charm. But that's not all. Wu Shuang's ears, neck, wrists, and 10 fingers are covered in sparkling and beautiful jewelry. These are all Lu Jia's signature products, which fully draw on the popular internet sensations on the market. Almost, have they arrived yet? They're already outside getting ready, I'll go and get them to come in. Lu Liangyin hurriedly pulled open the door to the live broadcast room. The next second, a large group of well-groomed and fit hunks stood in turn in front of the live broadcast camera. They were all students at the Sports Institute, carefully selected by Lu Liangyin and personally invited at great expense. Okay. Countdown. 3, 2, 1. Men's Jewelry Special, Showtime. Anyone who has done live streaming knows that if you want a live broadcast room to be popular, you must have traffic. There are usually 2 ways to get traffic. One is to insist on live streaming every day, slowly accumulate followers, and make a big splash with a small beginning. The second is to simply spend money to buy traffic. However, if the host or product is not attractive enough, the traffic will come and go quickly, and it will be a waste of money. But what if the traffic is free? Someone's coming in. Outside the broadcast room, Lu Liangyin sat in front of the computer screen, her heart uneasy. After hearing the staff scream, she hurriedly looked at the number of viewers in the broadcast room. 17 people. After deducting the people on her own team, there is only 1 left. It's only been a few seconds since the broadcast started, and someone's already here? Someone else has entered. No, it's 2 people. There are already 5 people. Look again, there are already 20 people. By this point, the employees had no time to discuss the number of viewers. Facing the sudden influx of product inquiries, the keyboard clacked away. 100 people. 500 people. 5,000 people. 10,000 people. Lu Liangyin's mouth hung open as she watched the numbers jump around like crazy. Could it be that Wu Shuang had personally paid for the traffic? She checked the account in the background and saw that the balance was zero, with no promotions whatsoever. My goodness, how is this possible? Back on the store homepage, Lu Liangyin pressed refresh and suddenly leaned forward. Her upturned nose poked at the computer screen, and her beautiful eyes widened like bronze bells. 100,000 people. No, that can't be right. She blinked a few times and looked again. 300,000. What is this concept? Even for top streamers with big followings, the highest number of views is only a little over 1 million. Quick, pass me a bottle of water. Pass you a bottle of what? I'm too busy to do that. Exactly, I'm about to pee my pants, what did I say? Facing the influx of information, the employees' keyboards were smoking. Fortunately, there are not so many parameters for jewelry, and most of the questions are about the authenticity of the materials, so the employees can barely handle it. Can you handle such a large amount of traffic? At this time, Lu Liangyin's focus of concern has shifted, and her gaze is fixed on the live broadcast room. Now showing link 3. Arrange the group of hot guys. The crowd went wild to the explosive music, and a group of handsome muscle men took to the stage. Each one struck a seductive pose, riding their bodies to the rhythm of the music. On their right wrists, delicate bracelets shone with a mesmerizing radiance. Wu Shuang was also among the group, but he didn't try to stand out. The broadcast was already having a great effect, it was just too good. Ah, I'm so happy, so many handsome guys are dancing for me. The third guy from the left in the second row. He's my type. Don't just watch, buy. I've already placed a few orders. Me too. I won't buy unless that guy with the long hair smiles. The fans' requests must be met. You, step forward. At Wu Shuang's command, the long-haired guy squeezed out a bashful smile. Ah, I'll buy it. Ding. Thanks for placing the order, baby. The group of hunky men shouted in unison, creating a sense of ceremony in the scene. Ah, they called me baby. After all, it is jewelry, and most of the people watching the live broadcast are girls. And the group of hunky men arranged by Wu Shuang is really visually impactful. The girls have fallen one after another and cannot extricate themselves, and the barrage of comments has soared, and the orders have skyrocketed. 1 hour later. Lu Liangyin looks very embarrassed, tapping away at the keyboard with her left hand, holding the mouse in her right hand, talking on the phone with her neck craned as she holds the phone between her ear and shoulder. There's no way around it, she's just too busy. Even though Wu Shuang had warned her beforehand that this might happen, Lu Liangyin still didn't dare believe it when it actually happened. So far, 3 million people have been watching the livestream. The huge volume of orders has overwhelmed every link in the chain, from the warehouse to the delivery service to customer service. Luckily, Lu Liangyin had a contingency plan, and although she was extremely busy, nothing had gone wrong. Meanwhile, at the Lu family villa. On the huge TV in the living room, a rare family drama was not being shown. The 3 family members were staring at the shop data on the screen, their faces all twisted with smiles. So awesome, this boyfriend of my sister's is a godsend. Lu Liangfeng raised his arms high and kept shouting excitedly at the ceiling. Xiaofeng, go over there right now, Lu's father said, go learn from him. You need to keep this money-making ability in your own hands. Exactly, Lu's mother also calmed down, it's really strange, Xiaoyin has always been so picky, so why has she suddenly found a boyfriend? And he's so capable. You mean? Hearing this, Lu's father's face fell. I think this girl is interested. No way, she only owns a small percentage of our family's shares. Regardless, tomorrow we will transfer all our shares to Xiaofeng to eliminate any future problems. Lu's mother's words were unanimously approved. No longer having any concerns, Lu Liangfeng chose to disobey his father's orders. He stood happily in front of the TV, looking at the numbers on it, which were all his money. Study? Study my ass. He understood the broadcast. It was just about selling sex. It was just about secretly buying traffic. Paying off the group of hunks, everything is under control. As for his sister. Let her marry that fool of a man, but charge a sky-high bride price. After all, that Wu guy seems to have some money. Ding. Just as the Luck family was scheming, the clock struck midnight. The results of the broadcast were in the sales of 400 million yuan. Oh my god, the warehouse said the stock is all gone. Lu Liangfeng hung up the phone and looked at his parents in shock. What? The supply to Li Shangshang has also been sold, Lu's father said excitedly. Yes, but so what? Lu Liangfeng said calmly, isn't there still a few days until the delivery time? I'll go in tomorrow to get the raw materials back in, and have the workers work around the clock, it shouldn't be a problem. Lu's father nodded slightly, then yawned, old man, in the future, you'll have to let Xiaofeng take the lead. I'm going to bed. Him? Is he qualified? Suddenly, a sinister voice came from the front door. Wu Shuang led Lu Liangyin and appeared without anyone noticing. Lu Liangfeng was startled at first, then angrily said, what did you say? I mean, I'm afraid that in the future, the person who will take the lead should be her. After Wu Shuang finished speaking, he pointed his finger at Lu Liangyin. Chapter 26, The Desires of the New Head of the Family. Wu Shuang's words made the Lu family of three suddenly lose all sleepiness. My sister? On what basis does she pick the main task? You make it clear. Lu Liangfeng vaguely sensed that something was wrong, but then thought, there won't be a problem. As a family business, the shareholders of the Lu family factory are the four members of the family. Among them, the parents account for the majority, the heir Lu Liangfeng is second, and the daughter Lu Liangyin has the least shares, only a miserable 5%. If you want to take the lead, you have to be the majority shareholder, and it's obvious that my sister can't do it. Young man, you've done a great job today, you've really opened my eyes. At this tense moment, Lu's father forced a smile, pushed his son aside and walked up to Wu Shuang. Not to mention how helpful you've been to Xiaoyin, as her father, I'm moved to see it. As he spoke, Lu's father's eyes became moist. His tone became even more emotional. Young man, let's talk about family matters behind closed doors. This Xiaofeng is considered your younger brother, so you must help him more in the future. Yes, we're all family, we should love each other. Lu's mother also echoed, looking at Wu Shuang with a beaming smile. As for what happened before, it's all because that Mr. Li was pushing so hard. Now it's fine, Xiaoyin doesn't have to be forced to marry someone. In that case, I'll make a request. Wu Shuang held up 5 fingers. In the future, Xiaoyin and Xiaofeng will each own half of the Lu family's shares. How can this be? Lu's parents, who had just been friendly, turned to look angry with distorted faces. Alas, I knew you would react this way, Wu Shuang sighed, but what if I insist on this request? Don't even think about it. Dream on. Kid, you are not in a position to run this family. Okay, don't yell, Wu Shuang sneered, in fact, I'm doing this for your own good. Come to think of it, the factory's inventory should have been sold out, right? Yes. In other words, the goods from Li Shangshang Group have also been misappropriated, right? That's right, but once the raw materials come in tomorrow. I remember that if the goods cannot be delivered on time, the liquidated damages are half the price of the goods, which is 200 million yuan, right? That's the amount, but what? At this point, Wu Shuang finally revealed a smug smile. Let me help you out. But as long as the raw materials are delivered tomorrow, and overtime production is used, there is absolutely no way you will breach the contract, right? And the money used to purchase the raw materials is the income from live sales, right? But here's the problem, this money doesn't belong to you now. Shit. Lu Liangfeng hurriedly looked at his parents, isn't our e-commerce live streaming account a business account? What enterprise account? We don't know anything about this. Lu's father stammered in reply. Lu Liangfeng felt bad and quickly pulled out his phone to open the store information page. It showed that the subject was an individual business owner, and the legal representative was his sister, Lu Liangyin. It's over. Lu Liangfeng's vision went dark, and he was finished. This represented 400 million yuan in payments, which would all go into Lu Liangyin's pocket. When the Lu family first decided to go into live streaming, they didn't take it seriously at all and never asked any questions. For convenience's sake, Lu Liangyin casually registered as an individual business owner and used it to open a live streaming account. But this very action has brought her 400 million in unthinkable wealth. Xiaoyin, give us the money. After hearing their son's explanation of the situation, Lu's parents were like ants on a hot pan. They grabbed their daughter and revealed an unprecedentedly fierce expression. These 400 million include the wealth the Liu family has accumulated over the years, as well as bank loans and upstream payments. Liu Liangyin only needs to drag her feet for a few days to completely collapse the family business and send her parents and younger brother to hell. You vicious woman, you actually colluded with outsiders to harm us. Liu Liangfeng's mind exploded, and he raised his fist to strike, but he was kicked to the ground by Liu's father. Xiaofeng, don't be rude. She is your sister. After admonishing his son, Liu's father turned to his daughter and said almost pleadingly, Xiaoyin, you are part of this family too, you can't just stand by and do nothing. Just my little bit of stock? Liu Liangyin pretended to ponder, 5% of the shares and 400 million in cash. Well, I still think the cash is much more attractive. We'll give you the shares. In desperation, Liu's father finally relented. Your mother and I will give you all our shares, and you will be the one in charge of the family in the future. But Liu Liangyin still shook her head, not enough. Liu's father and mother said in unison, not enough? What more do you want? I want to completely reverse the situation, exchange shares with my brother, and then take over your shares. In that case, Xiaofeng will only have 5%. He's already getting a bargain, after all, he's made zero contribution and is a waste of space. Liu Liangyin snorted, if it weren't for the fact that he has to support you in your old age, I wouldn't even want to give him 5%. By now, Liu Liangyin had completely given up on her family. Plus, she was a woman of strong character, and would never soften her stance when faced with her parents. Is it possible or not? Yes. Liu's father, as the head of the family, gritted his teeth and compromised, we'll change the shareholding structure first thing in the morning. Are you satisfied now? Compared to bankruptcy and becoming penniless, retaining 5% of the shares would at least allow them to live a life of affluence. Unless Liu's parents had gone mad, there was simply no choice. Oh, and one more thing. Liu Liangyin said with a relaxed expression, please leave here, now. Liu's parents immediately became anxious. This is our home, Xiaoyin, don't be too extreme. Liu Liangyin said impatiently, I'm telling you to leave now, not forever, got it? Although they didn't know what this was about, the new head of the family had spoken, and the Liu family could only obey. They moved to another place, and soon there were only 2 people left. You can watch some TV here for a while. Liu Liangyin pushed Wu Shuang down on the sofa and made him a cup of ginseng tea. Then she went upstairs alone, not knowing what she was doing. Congratulations, host, you have received a reward, a luxury home discount coupon, 10 million. Note, this coupon can only be used to purchase luxury mansions costing 10 million yuan or more. Holy cow! Wu Shuang spat out mouthfuls of ginseng tea all over the floor. This is too awesome. These past few days, he'd been thinking about buying a house to live in after graduation. Luckily, he hadn't taken any action, or else he would have lost a fortune. Dong. Dong dong dong. Suddenly, a crisp sound of impact came from the stairs. Wu Shuang looked up, his eyes widening and his breathing quickening. She saw that Liu Liangyin had undergone an amazing transformation in a short period of time. The single ponytail was gone, and her long, fluffy hair was draped over her shoulders. Her originally haggard face had become radiant and attractive again. She had changed into a tight JK uniform, with the semi-transparent white blouse tightly stretched to the extreme, barely suppressing her proud sexiness. Under the ultra-short plaid skirt, the black sheer knee-high socks are matched with ultra-thin high heels, combined with the heavenly legs, absolutely stunning. Ding! Liu Liangyin's list of desires has been updated. 1. With this outfit, I don't believe I can't get him. 2. I hope he is also full of talent in this area. 3. Shamelessly Shulong, how dare you use such a despicable trick, I really want to make him collapse. Chapter 27, simply perfect to the point of exploding. Early morning, at the Liu family villa. The innermost room on the second floor is Liu Liangyin's bedroom. Unlike other girls, there are no pink and cute decorations, fluffy stuffed animals, or colorful clothes, shoes, or bags in this room. Instead, there are athlete posters, yoga mats, treadmills, and pink dumbbells of various models. Hey, sex. Early in the morning, Wu Shuang was half squatting on the floor, holding a large dumbbell and doing stretching exercises. Xiaoyin, is my form standard? Perfect. Liu Liangyin curled up on the bed, her white hands supporting her head, her eyes constantly shooting stars at Wu Shuang. Perfect, this man is simply perfect to the point of exploding. Phew, I'm a bit sweaty, I'm going to take a shower. Wu Shuang put down the dumbbell and walked into the bathroom with strong and powerful steps. Standing in front of the mirror, an uncontrollable smile appeared on his face. It was so great. Not only did he easily satisfy Lu Liangyin's two desires last night, but he also received an even greater surprise. Congratulations, the host has received a reward, attribute points x2. Congratulations, the host has received a reward, attribute points x1. Successfully used attribute points, congratulations, host, spirit plus 3. Hint, since the host's mental attribute value has exceeded 30, please choose the follow-up enhancement effect. Effect 1, strengthen your mental strength, so that you can keenly sense the emotions of others. Effect 2, activate the chicken blood switch, so that your brain can be highly concentrated, and work and study will be twice as effective. Wu Shuang chose 2, to strengthen his mental strength. Combined with 10th level flirting and 10th level stick fighting, he is now confident that he can hold any woman in check. After taking a shower, Wu Shuang walked back to his room feeling refreshed. Where is she? Clearly, just now Lu Liangyin was still lying on the bed, but how did she disappear so quickly? What's most annoying is that her underwear is still hanging on the hanger. With doubts in his heart, Wu Shuang walked out of the room and downstairs. Suddenly, a delicious smell of food entered his nostrils. In the kitchen, Lu Liangyin was wearing an apron and was preparing a hearty breakfast. Well, it's a regular apron, just covering the front and leaving the back. Wu Shuang appeared quietly behind Lu Liangyin, keenly sensing the sweet emotions of a happy little woman. It was so sweet, tinged with a hint of insatiable longing. Ding! Lu Liangyin's list of desires has been updated. 1. Quick, sneak up on me from behind. 2. Although my cooking isn't very good, I still hope he can finish everything. 3. Shamelessly Shulong, how dare you use such a despicable trick, I really want to make him crack up. Facing such desires, Wu Shuang didn't want to wait a second longer and launched the sneak attack directly. Hey, the person is still cooking. Hey, if you cook together, it'll be fine. After exactly 2 hours, the sumptuous breakfast was finally over. Wu Shuang burped, then leaned contentedly back on the sofa and enjoyed the thoughtful and soothing massage. Congratulations, host, you have earned a reward, 2 skill points. Congratulations, host, you have earned a reward, 1 skill point. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Lu Liangyin was startled. What's wrong? Did I use too much pressure? Massage is all about the right amount of pressure, not brute force. Wu Shuang sat up and placed his hands on Lu Liangyin's shoulders. This is the way it should be. Feel it. I don't feel very comfortable. Don't worry. Congratulations, you have mastered the new skill, massage. Successfully used skill points, congratulations, massage plus 3. After adding the points temporarily, Wu Shuang found that his hands became agile instantly. The force that had been awkward and rough had, through the 10 fingers, turned into waves of soft and gentle force. It penetrated Lu Liangyin's soft skin and reached deep into the muscles. It feels so good. Do you want it to be a bit harder? Yes, right there. Do it more. You'll see. This is too good. Lu Liangyin was shocked as he moaned, he had never expected massage to be so good. Wu Shuang was also quite surprised, a mere level 4 massage had such an amazing effect? Could it be that he had a talent in this area? Meanwhile, outside the villa gate, Li Shulong was dressed in a suit, holding flowers in his hands, and behind him stood a row of energetic young men. They had come to propose marriage. Brother Long, what's that noise inside? Something's wrong. It sounds like farting. It's the middle of the day, and Miss Lu is single and waiting to get married. How could she be openly in the living room with another man? It would have been better if the subordinate didn't explain, but as soon as he did, a sickly shade of dark green appeared on Li Shulong's face. Aha! You're good, Lu Liangyin, to not marry me, but you dare to play this. Ha, but so what? True love can forgive everything, and I'll marry you anyway. Just then, a BMW 7 Series slowly pulled up. The door opened and the Lu family of 3 walked out dejectedly. Mr. Li? Lu Liangfeng looked at the greenish Li Shulong and immediately lost his temper. If it weren't for him, would he be in this situation now, with his shares lost and being bullied? Mr. Li, still thinking about marrying my sister? Forget it, I'm afraid you'll never get to lick her. What did you say? Li Shulong glared at his would-be brother-in-law. Say that again if you dare. Wait, why aren't you guys home? Ha, it seems that Mr. Li went out partying again last night, Lu Liangfeng mocked. You didn't even know something so big happened. Hurry up and check the internet, our products have sold out. What? Li Shulong hurriedly opened his phone and did a search, and his whole body felt like it had been struck by lightning. 400 million sales? No way. What's impossible? I've already let go. From now on, I'll just be a rich guy who's content to live off the fat of the land. After saying this, Lu Liangfeng said in a strange voice, Mr. Li, you're not just going to crouch there and lick the floor, are you? Ouch, the son of the Li Shangsheng group is actually licking the floor like this. As soon as he heard the words Li Shangsheng, Li Shulong couldn't hold back any longer. He roared, retreat. Finally, peace was restored at the entrance to the villa. The Lu family, with their son, did not even dare to enter the house, and obediently waited outside. After a while, Wu Xuan walked out refreshed. Lu Liangyin followed behind, wearing a well-tailored dress with a serious and solemn expression. Let's go. The group set off by car and arrived at the district administrative hall. After taking a number and waiting in line for formalities, the Lu family factory changed owners. Lu Liangyin has transformed into a major shareholder and de facto controller with a 95% stake, and her wealth has instantly exceeded 100 million yuan. The combination of the aloof school beauty and the rich boss has instantly elevated her status. With her head held high, she wraps her arm around Wu Shuang's and walks out, ignoring everyone around them. Brother Shuang, what do you want, a house or a car? I can buy you both. Holy shit! The crowd lining up around them exploded. To be paid back by such an extraordinary young lady was something you couldn't even dream of. Chapter 28, Car, Money, House. Lu Liangyin didn't care at all about the stares and comments around her. In her opinion, becoming Wu Shuang's woman was indeed a benefit. Being good to Wu Xuan was even more the right thing to do. Not to mention money, she could offer everything to Wu Xuang without reservation. Ha, I appreciate your kindness. Wu Xuang just laughed at this. Use your head. In your current situation, buying a car is barely possible, let alone buying a house. You let me do the math. Once reminded, Lu Liangyin hurriedly ran to a quiet place. She held out her slender fingers and gestured in the air. After deducting the platform fee, taxes, electricity bills and labor expenses, we still need to quickly buy raw materials, and yes, there's also the bank loan interest. After some calculations, Lu Liangyin came to a conclusion. After deducting various expenses, the funds at her disposal were only a pitiful few million. But that's not a big problem. Once she terminates her cooperation with the Li Shangsheng group and settles the payment, her pocket will be able to swell up. The most important thing is to sell goods live. Brother Shuang. Lu Liangyin hugged Wu Shuang's arm again, swaying like a spoiled child. This woman is very scary when she is in love. Her IQ instantly drops to zero, she becomes dependent on the man in every way, her expression is charming, her movements are ambiguous, her tone is coquettish. Okay, if you're going to be like this, just do as I say. Since this thing called traffic can be captured the first time, then it can be imitated to continue to maintain it. Wu Shuang said that the strategy of the Mighty Men Jewelry Show can be maintained by continuing to do the same thing. Treat the young men well, sign good contracts, and promote the most popular ones to get them more exposure. At the same time, you have to buy traffic to ensure that the live broadcast room remains at a certain level of popularity. When the popularity is about to wane, invite a few more male celebrities to come and support the show, the kind that have the most female fans. Wu Shuang said while thinking, anyway, don't be stingy with money in this area, find a few designers who are down to earth, and release more internet celebrity explosive products. Oh yes, the brand's reputation must be promoted. The name Luck Fook Jewelry may infringe on someone else's rights, so let's change it to Luck Fook. Hurry up and get someone to design a logo and put it in the most conspicuous position in the broadcast room. Yes, I understand. Luck Liangyin nodded like a nodding donkey, looking like an obedient little wife. Today was very tight, and after taking care of the shares, Luck Liangyin still had 3 important things to do. Ding! Luck Liangyin's wish list has been updated. 1. I owe him so much, so I can only use this plan, I hope he will agree. 2. I don't have any money, where can I get a decent car? 3. And the house, where will I live next? With Wu Shuang and Lu Liangyin's current relationship, naturally there was no need to beat around the bush to satisfy their desires. He went straight to the point. Xiaoyin, is there something you want to tell me? Ha? You, how did you know? Although Wu Shuang has guessed her thoughts many times, Lu Liangyin still acts very surprised. She is very embarrassed and a little shy about saying it. Just say what you want to say, don't be afraid. With Wu Shuang's gentle encouragement, Lu Liangyin finally gathers her courage. It's like this, Shuang brother, I really owe you too much, but I don't have the ability to repay you. Go on. I've already thought about it, I'll sell you half of my shares. Ah, this. Just hear me out, Lu Liangyin said anxiously, not only that, but I'm also available. We can get married whenever you want. Are you serious? Wu Shuang was a little shocked. Damn, this first desire can't be satisfied. With no choice, he could only persuade her nicely, Xiaoyin, I know you're impatient, but don't be impulsive. I'm not in any hurry with the money. You can pay me back whenever you're financially stable. As for the human aspect, we are still students, but don't worry, as long as I get married, you will definitely be the bride. By the way, you are the boss now, so you should arrange the basic necessities as soon as possible. What basic necessities? Although Wu Shuang rejected the proposal, the promise of marriage still made Lu Liangyin's heart happy. Which boss doesn't drive a luxury car? You are no exception. With that, Wu Shuang took out the car keys to a Mercedes-Benz AMG E53. With a smile, he said, take the gift, don't mind it, it's a nearly new car. Brother Shuang. Lu Liangyin's eyes welled up as she held the car keys. The man in front of her was perfect, it was almost irresistible. Oh yes, your relationship with your family is quite awkward right now, I'm afraid it's not appropriate to go back to live there. Wu Shuang took out a hotel room card from his pocket, anyway, I'd booked a long-term private room, it would be a waste just swimming, so you can stay there, it's not far from the school. Brother Shuang. Lu Liangyin could no longer hold back her inner emotions, and threw herself into Wu Shuang's arms. She was a woman who valued ritual, and last night she had asked her parents and younger brother to leave the villa so that she could complete an important ritual in her bridal chamber. This ritual had two meanings, to give Wu Shuang the most precious gift, and to bid farewell to the place where she had lived for 20 years. From today onwards, Lu Liangyin would be completely devoted to Wu Shuang, without any regrets. Ding! Lu Liangyin's list of desires has been updated. 1. I hope to marry Wu Shuang soon. 2. I must work hard and give him 100-fold return. 3. Shamelessly Shulong, how dare he use such a despicable trick, I really want to make him collapse. The 3 desires are firmly nailed at the top of the list, which makes Wu Shuang a bit painful. Good guy, I can't satisfy any of them. Getting married is currently unrealistic, and repaying is even more time-consuming. As for the boy Li Shulong, no matter what you say, he is the son of a wealthy family and it is difficult to get close to him. What tricks can I use to make him completely collapse? Wu Shuang thought for a long time but couldn't think of anything. At this time, Lu Liangyin had already driven to work in her new car. She was a busy person now, taking classes, managing the factory, watching live broadcasts, and finding time to exercise and get fit. Forget it. Wu Shuang shook her head and thought of something happy instead, like buying a house. The luxury house discount coupons must be used. Successfully used skill points, congratulations host, massage +3. Sitting in the taxi, Wu Shuang first used up the skill points he had just gained from Lu Liangyin. Then he looked out the window, where high-rise buildings stood in close proximity to one another, and the traffic was constantly flowing. To say that the housing prices in Beijing City are not cheap would be an understatement. Especially the central city area, where prices are high and out of reach for ordinary people. Linxiang Yiping is located right on the riverside in the city center, with a view of the city on one side and the river on the other. With its river view and city view, it is the city's premier high-end residential area, and the owners inside are either rich or powerful. Wu Shuang got off the bus at the entrance to the community, but the agent who was supposed to show the house hadn't arrived yet, so he had to wait standing. Just then, a mature woman with short, neat hair, dressed in a suit and skirt, and wearing pointed high heels, walked out of the community with a certain air of authority. Although she looked a bit older, the woman's skin and figure were extremely well maintained, and Wu Shuang couldn't help but stare at her. Hey, Yan and I, why aren't you here yet? I'm already out here. Do you know how sunny it is outside? The mature woman seemed to have a bad temper and was blasting away at her phone. Suddenly, Wu Shuang caught a glimpse of her in the corner of his eye. Her piercing eyes locked onto Wu Shuang, and she didn't say a word, but it made Wu Shuang feel extremely uncomfortable. What a fierce intimidation! Who is this mature woman? Chapter 29 Mr. Wu, you have supernatural powers. Soon, a Maserati roared up, and the lady opened the door and got in. The roar of the engine interrupted Wu Shuang's thoughts. Although this lady looked familiar, he couldn't think of her. Never mind, when we become neighbors later, I'll slowly recall. Mr. Wu. At this time, the real estate agent finally arrived, glanced at Wu Shuang's local tyrant attire, and determined that he was a serious client. Without further ado, he led the way into the community. Although located in a prime location, Linjiang Yiping has a very low building density and a very high greening rate. Walking through the gate, one looks out to see a super spacious green trail. The scorching sun is blocked by the tall trees, and among the dappled shadows, flowers of all colors compete to bloom, filling the air with a light fragrance. Continuing forward, the radiant buildings come into view. The surface of each building here is fitted with a glass curtain wall, reflecting the blue of the sky, the green of the surroundings, and the rolling heat. The spacious spacing between buildings not only ensures the privacy of residents, but also allows sunlight and fresh air to circulate freely. Mr. Wu, according to your budget, there are a total of 3 suitable properties. Having said that, the agent boy was a little puzzled. In fact, your budget is quite embarrassing, just add a little more and you can get the largest unit. I'm living alone, why do I need such a big place? Wu Shuang couldn't quite put it into words. His budget was determined entirely by discount coupons for luxury properties. For 10 million yuan, he could choose whatever he liked in other parts of Beijiang City. But in Linjiang Yiping, he was slightly short. That's true, but the discounts for large properties are also large. The agent hurriedly explained. Besides, you're already paying this much, so it's better to get it done in one go. Okay, let's take a look first. Wu Shuang is also afraid of being poor, and although he is holding tens of millions of dollars in his hands, he is reluctant to take it out. His idea is that the price of the house should ideally be just over 10 million, so that he doesn't have to touch the principal. But where is there such a perfect thing? The 3 suites were quickly viewed. The decoration of one of them was so tacky that it would be a hassle to start all over again. Someone had died in the other one, and it was a suicide. The agent didn't tell him, of course, but Wu Shuang sensed something was wrong and forced the agent to reveal the reason. The last one was okay, but the landlord refused to negotiate. In short, none of them were suitable. The agent pleaded, Mr. Wu, please take a look at the largest unit. I have one here that perfectly matches your needs except for the budget. Wu Shuang was suspicious. Are you trying to trick me into buying it? How could I? Mr. Wu, you have supernatural powers and can even tell when someone has died in a house. The agent lowered his voice and said, to be honest with you, the landlord of this house is eager to sell, and the price is expected to be cut quite a bit. Let's go take a look. Hearing that the price could be cut significantly, Wu Shuang became interested and hurriedly followed the agent to see the house. Nowadays, many wealthy people have given up villas and choose to live in large flats in the city center, where they can enjoy the quiet despite being in the city center and have convenient access to public transport. Linjiang Yiping takes this into full consideration, with only 2 types of units in the entire community, small and large. In addition to the difference in size, the large units also have the privacy that the rich care about most. The private elevator goes directly to the unit, and the living room is right there when you open the elevator door. Mr. Wu, please take a look. The agent said, leading the way into the unit and raising his hand to introduce it. No one has lived in this unit, and only basic renovations have been done, so it has a lot of potential. Wu Shuang followed and began the tour. The house was a full 260 square meters, including 6 rooms, 3 bathrooms, a huge horizontal hall, and a fully enclosed viewing terrace. The space was airy and the lighting was superb. The terrace alone was larger than Wu Shuang's rental apartment, and standing on it, one could overlook the entire city, giving one a feeling of superiority. This house is invincible. Wu Shuang took a deep breath and said in an uninhibitedly excited tone, this is it, let's negotiate the price. The agent was ecstatic and immediately pulled out his phone to contact the owner. After a while, he gave the final price, 12.88 million. Mr. Wu, this is a limited time offer, and the deal is only valid for 3 days. That's so urgent. Wu Shuang was very satisfied with the price. Before coming here, he had looked up the information online and it was indeed the floor price. You don't know, the owner is not an ordinary person, it seems to be a celebrity. After getting Wu Shuang's confirmation, the agent Ma Buxing began to work non-stop. Signing the contract, signing online, paying taxes and fees, handling the transfer of ownership, paying the house price, receiving the new property ownership certificate, and property delivery. Ding, the luxury home discount coupon has been successfully used. After paying the extra 2.88 million, Wu Shuang officially became the owner of Linjiang Yiping. As for the original owner, he never showed up, and the entire transaction was entrusted to a lawyer, but Wu Shuang still saw her name on the contract. I think it's true that it's a bit overused, maybe people use stage names in the entertainment industry. Wu Shuang was not interested in this at all. After getting the house, he contacted the most well-known decoration company in the city. After confirming the decoration plan, paying the first installment, and arranging for the workers to start working, it had been half a month since these things had been taken care of. The graduation exams were held as scheduled, and without incident, Wu Shuang and Liu Yuxi both passed with flying colors. Brother Shuang, I'm really impressed. On the school playground, Liu Yuxi was wearing a long white dress, her long, soft hair dancing in the wind. Have you ever studied for a day? You actually got a higher score than me, humph. Come on, it's enough to graduate, what do you care about the score? Who said you can graduate? There's still the thesis and the internship. Right, I almost forgot. Wu Shuang slapped his forehead, revealing an expression of constipation. This time the school's arrangements were pretty disgusting. All students must participate in an internship, and they must also complete their graduation thesis during the internship. For someone like Wu Shuang, who is not preparing for work and does not need to earn money, it is a pure waste of time. But there is no way around it, you have to graduate from college somehow. Fortunately, with Liu Yuxi's gentle and considerate nature, unhappy things quickly disappear. The two of them first returned to the rented room and asked the workers to move everything back to the dormitory. Then they went shopping, buying several formal outfits. After shopping, they had a big meal, watched a movie, stayed in a hotel, and satisfied Liu Yuxi's desires again and again. The following morning was the day the internship arrangements were announced. Everyone in the school auditorium seemed a little nervous. After all, the current employment environment is not good, and internships are too important for college students. If you can get a good placement, your future will be much easier. Please, God, I don't want to go to a factory. Wang Meng folded his hands and begged for mercy, and the other students followed suit. Ahem. At this time, the school leader, clutching a stack of documents, quickly walked up to the lectern. Clearing his throat, he began a long, tedious, and boring speech. Just as everyone was about to doze off, a highlight suddenly arrived. Okay, I'm sure everyone knows the importance of this internship, so I'll start calling out the names. Wang Meng, Jia Service Trade Company, Production Operations Department. No. Poor Wang Meng, he was finally assigned to a factory. Liu Yuxi, Kailong New Materials Group, Secretariat. Wu Shuang, Li Shengsheng Group, Sales Department. Chapter 30, Work, 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 No Privacy. When the list was finished, some were happy while others were sad. The saddest was Wang Meng, who fell to his knees in despair, looking as if he had nothing left to live for. The happiest person was Wu Shuang. Wow, Li Shengsheng Group. I heard they pay really well and have great benefits. This time Li Shengsheng Group is only hiring a few interns, and there's only one place for our school. Wu Shuang, you're so lucky. I'm so jealous. I'd die happy if I could work with the legendary Miss Xu. Miss Xu? Wu Shuang felt that the name was very familiar, as if it was mentioned by the people around him often. Brother Shuang, don't you even know Miss Xu? Liu Yuxi, who was standing nearby, said excitedly, she is our female idol, the cool female boss. The top-level female strong woman. Oh, I remember now. Wu Shuang finally searched for the memory and took out his phone at the same time. Xu Kaiqin, chairman of the Li Shengsheng Group, ranked third among the top 100 female entrepreneurs in the country. This woman is quite business-minded, has strong tactics, and acts decisively and swiftly, and can be described as more manly than men. In recent years, with the rise of self-media, Xu Kaiqin seized the opportunity to register a personal account and often personally releases videos. Because of her sharp and domineering statements, she quickly attracted a large number of fans, who enthusiastically call her Miss Xu. In addition, she has another identity, the biological mother of Li Shulong. Holy shit! Wu Shuang suddenly froze, staring at the photo on her phone screen and muttering, isn't that the beautiful MILF I ran into at the entrance of my community? What beautiful MILF? Liu Yuxi stuck her face over, oh, you mean Miss Xu? What do you think? Isn't she pretty? You can't even tell she's in her 40s, right? She's okay, but she looks a bit fierce. So what if she's fierce? She's the boss of tens of thousands of people. You're not like her. Don't you always sound so fierce? It's annoying. Liu Yuxi blushed and said worriedly, seriously, the work atmosphere at Li Shangsheng Group is very tense. You are used to being laid back, and I'm worried about you. Most of the time I'm also very serious, okay? Obviously you were driving just now. I had no choice. I got on the highway last night and drove until this morning. You're not tired, but I'm still immersed in the images. Oh, you're doing it again, I hate it. The schedule was very tight. After reading the list in the morning, the students had to report to their posts in the afternoon and start their internship. For safety reasons, the school organized a bus to take the students to their internship locations. After bidding farewell to Liu Yuxi, Wu Shuang boarded the bus bound for the city and arrived at the landmark building in the city center, the Li Shangsheng building. The first-floor lobby was luxuriously decorated and had a high-end atmosphere. Led by the staff, the interns first visited the corporate culture wall. Our Li Shangsheng group was just a small factory with a few dilapidated factory buildings 20 years ago. Just when the factory was on the verge of collapse and everyone was panicking, Mr. Li stepped forward and took over the mess. Mr. Li, the immortal legend of the Li Shangsheng group, is the husband of the current chairman, Xu Kaiqin. Wu Xuan looked at the old photos on the wall. It's true that Mr. Li was quite handsome, with a heroic air about him. Under Mr. Li's leadership, the factory's efficiency got better and better, and in just a few years, the scale expanded tenfold. It also opened up international sales channels and became the first company in our city to successfully go abroad. Unfortunately, good people don't live long, the narrator choked. Due to a sudden illness, President Li soon passed away, leaving behind the hard-won foundation. But just at this time of great difficulty, another person stepped forward. She resolutely took on the heavy burden, working day and night, forgetting to eat and sleep, leading everyone to make progress together, creating a leading industry and a 10 billion level group with tens of thousands of employees. Yes, she is President Xu. President Xu is not only a great success in her career, but also admired for her relationships. For 20 years, she has upheld the legacy of her predecessor, President Li, and fought alone. She hasn't even had time to take care of her own son. Clap, clap, clap. There was loud applause, and everyone's faces were full of emotion. Only Wu Xuan was smirking. No wonder Li Shulong was so annoying, because the widow mother didn't have time to discipline him. President Xu. At that moment, the commentator suddenly lost his voice and screamed. A group of people came over in an imposing manner, led by none other than the legendary Miss Xu. That side should be our group's new interns. Miss Xu explained to the customer next to her, our group has always valued talent, and every year we bring in outstanding interns from various universities. For those with outstanding abilities, we will train them in unconventional ways. They have an interpreter, but we have me to personally explain it to you, so don't yawn. Ha 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 ha. There was a burst of joyful laughter from the group of customers, but at the same time, Xu Caixin's face tightened. Why is it him? As an outstanding businesswoman, Xu Caixin had many strengths, and her ability to remember faces was one of them. As soon as she saw Wu Shuang, she immediately recalled the unbridled gaze at the entrance of the community at the time. Name, Xu Caixin. Age, 41. Occupation, entrepreneur. Looks, 83. Body type, plump and mature. Relationship status, 1 marriage, husband deceased. Assets, 40 million in cash, 5.8 billion in stocks and real estate, 20 million annual income. Wu Shuang also quickly noticed that he was being stared at. When their eyes met, he instinctively did what he was used to doing. Reading Xu Caixin's list of desires for the host. 1. How can someone like this be a new intern? Must be dismissed. 2. Damn, my feet hurt so much, I really want to throw these heels away. 3. I've been wearing these stockings all day, I hope they don't smell. Please don't, I'm going out for Japanese food with a client tonight. That's great. Wu Shuang withdrew her gaze and beamed with joy. She was worried about how to survive the internship period, but now it's fine, Miss Xu is going to fire her. Firing someone without a proper reason is not something the school can pick on, so it's like a long vacation. Ha 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 ha. Okay, let's move on to the next place. Worried about disturbing Miss Xu when she's with a client, the staff quickly took Wu Shuang and the others away. They took the elevator up to the upper floors and kept walking until they came to a heavy solid wooden door. This is where President Xu goes about her daily battles. What do you think? You've never seen a boss's office before, have you? Because President Xu only works, she has no privacy. She's not like those other bosses out there, enjoying herself behind closed doors. With that, the door was pushed open. The furnishings inside were very simple, there were not even any decorations, and it was completely impossible to tell that this was a woman's office. After touring the office for a while, Wu Shuang was feeling bored when there was commotion outside the door. Oh no, there's been an accident with a customer downstairs. Who? General Manager Zhao of Qixing Group, it seems he's had a heart attack. Make way. Wu Shuang suddenly paled, pushed her way through the crowd in the corridor and rushed into the elevator.